Championship, one of the most dramatic series in baseball playoff history. Game 1, John Lowenstein breaks a 3-3 tie with a 2-out pinch hit home run in the 10th inning. Baltimore wins Game 1 6-3. Game 2, Memorial Stadium, Baltimore. Rallying from a 9-1 deficit, the Angels, bases loaded, 9th inning, trail only 9-8. Downing's chopper to DeCinces for the final out. Baltimore hangs on to win 9-8 and leads 2-0. The scene shifts to the Golden West, Anaheim Stadium, Anaheim, California. Sellout crowd of well over 43,000 fans. The Baltimore Orioles 2 outs away from the World Series. Dennis Martinez to Rod Carew, 9th inning. Line drive, left center field, up the alley for a double. The Angels, a come-from-behind team all season long, have the tying run at second base. Don Stanhouse comes in to relieve from Martinez. Pitch to Bobby Grich, 2 on, 2 out. Bunbury charges, he has it. No, he drops it. Carew rounds third, and the Angels have tied it at 3 apiece. Gene Autry and his special guest and the fans at Anaheim Stadium look for another "Yes, we can win" as the slogan reads in Anaheim. Al Bunbury, a man who will catch that drive the next 100 times, somehow can't keep it in the leather. Carew scores, the game tied, and now Larry Harlow, an ex-Oriole, up. He slices a line drive to left field. Lowenstein charges, Downing rounds third, and the Angels win 4-3. An unbelievable 9th inning spurred by a frenzied crowd at Anaheim Stadium. The Angels are alive as they record another of their many come-from-behind wins. The crowd, sustaining a constant roar, had one final volley and victory. But the Orioles, stunned last night, are still ahead in this fight, 2-1. And they're here again today for Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. NBC Sports presents Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. Today from Anaheim Stadium, it's the Baltimore Orioles and the California Angels. Today's game is brought to you by IBM Office Products Division. By Gene Witter Rentals, one investment firm you'll be glad to hear from. By Chrysler Corporation. See the mileage makers at your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by Light Beer. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. It says on the calendar, the calendar reads early October, but the weatherman has presented a midsummer perfect 80-degree baseball afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky over Anaheim Stadium as the sellout crowd filing in to see Game 4 of this dramatic American League Championship Series. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg, and welcome to Anaheim Stadium. Those of you who have followed the pattern of this series, the first 3 games, must agree with the press from around the world covering this and the newspaper and radio television personnel who say that maybe on its way to the greatest series ever. The first 3 games, hard to argue. Wes Parker is with me. Wes, today, Game 4. The Angels still alive, but everyone's, with all the excitement last night, forgets it's the Orioles that lead in the series 2-1.
Well, they've still got the best chance to win it, and you've got to like their chances, I'll tell you that. But we're going to see the number 4 pitches from both clubs today, Scott McGregor and Chris Knapp. And we're going to see some good pitching from both these guys. Even though it's down to the 4th starters, Dick, they're still very capable. The Baltimore pitching staff, as we know, is loaded with good starters, and McGregor will be no exception. He's a lot like the old Dave McNally type. Baltimore fans will remember him from the early 70s. He will be facing, though, a predominantly right-handed hitting lineup on the part of the Angels as they try to counter his effectiveness. Now, for the Angels, it'll be Chris Knapp going today. He's had a bad back, a herniated disc, He only had a 5-5 record this year, but he is 11-1 in Anaheim Stadium. Very tough in this ballpark. If he gets into any trouble at all today, I think that Dave Frost, who got knocked out in the second inning of the second game, will be pitching right behind him and would be brought in very, very quickly.
We should remind you fans, Anaheim Stadium in day games, the ball carries very well. The dimensions are much shorter than the numbers on the outfield wall would read. We're liable to see some home runs hit today. Well, the old Sage veteran skipper last night, Sparky Anderson, it was a joy for us to see that you have a lot of kid left in you. You enjoyed that game as much as any of the fans at Anaheim Stadium.
Well, Dick, let me say this. I was in the 75 World Series with the Boston Red Sox when Carlton Fisk hit the sixth game home run that won that ball game for him. Then we went to the seventh game. But I have never in my lifetime been associated in a thing like this where you've had the Baltimore crowd that's just been ecstatic in Baltimore with Wild Bill, and then you come to Anaheim. And I have never myself ever been around professional sports where there's been this much enthusiasm. And to me, this is going to do more for baseball than that World Series of 75 did.
With that background, we're ready for Game 4. Let's meet the starting lineups. Here's the voice of Anaheim Stadium, John Ramsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to Anaheim Stadium in Game number 4 of the American League Championship Series. Introducing the Baltimore Orioles, the manager, Earl Weaver. Leading off, playing center field, number 1, Al Bunbury. At shortstop, number 3, Kiko Garcia. Right field, number 29, Ken Singleton. At first base, number 33, Eddie Murray. In left field, number 38, John Lowenstein. Designated hitter, number 18, Pat Kelly. At third base, number 11, Doug DeCinces. At second base, number 2, Billy Smith. Catching, number 24, Rick Dempsey. Warming up in the bullpen, the pitcher, number 60, Scott McGregor. And the remainder of the Orioles squad.
The Orioles, you saw Billy Smith making his first appearance in the series. He is an ex-Angel, played out his option, became a free agent, and one of the few that the Orioles have signed away from another club.
Angels.
Now the Angels.
The manager, Jim Bragosi. First base, number 29, Rod Carew. Third base, number 12, Carney Lansford. Right field, number 15, Dan Ford.
Disco's got his moves going already.
Number 25, Don Baylor. The catcher, number 5, Brian Downing. At second base, number 4, Bobby Grich. Designated hitter, number 8, Merv Retman.
Retman making his first start in the series, the ex-Oriole.
Center fielder, number 3, Rick Miller. Shortstop, number 14, Jim Anderson. Warming up in the bullpen, the pitcher, number 42, Chris Knapp. And the remainder of your California Angels.
It's a wonder if that crowd has anything left.
Please rise for our national anthem, which will be sung this afternoon by the former star of television's Your Hit Parade and your Las Vegas night.
Giselle McKenzie will sing the national anthem.
McKenzie.
Later, Mrs. Fred Haney, Florence Haney, will throw out the first ball.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so brightly we hailed at twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Beautifully done. Giselle McKenzie with a national anthem. And just one more shiver for all of us. The Angels and the Orioles, the winner to meet the Pirates in the World Series. The Orioles 1 game away.
Gentlemen, tonight we're brought together here by two teams we all love. Good food and light beer from Miller. I want to take this opportunity myself to tell you. I tell you, I don't get no respect.
Gaston, je dis saignant. Ici, elle est pas saignante.
Sounds good, but what
is it?
Meatloaf sandwich and a light. Gentlemen, as we all know and appreciate, light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling.
But the best thing is it tastes great.
Less filling. Gentlemen.
Hey, Deacon, pass the roll. Hey, Charlie, that's my beer.
No, this is by your broccoli. This is my broccoli.
That's my beer.
What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, Bubba, you want the peas? Ooh. You gonna eat all that? Just showing off.
Gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to think I speak for all of us, but I say if it wasn't for light, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hey, you're profound.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You're out!
Sorry, kid. Got to take you out of cleanup.
Over 6 million shavers have said goodbye to their old razors and said hello to Atra, Gillette's best shave. Micro smooth twin blades and Atra face-hugging action combine to outshave every razor we've ever made.
Close. Very close.
Atra, Gillette's best shave.
Atra, you're in a league by yourself.
Cards have been exchanged. Frank Robinson, who had brought up Earl Weaver's Baltimore card the first 3 games of the series, as long as he had a winning streak going, he brought it up. Lost last night, so Weaver sent out Cal Ripken, the third base coach, and Jim Fregosi answered that with the Angels hitting order. The California Angels take the field. Let's check them defensively, Wes.
All right, Dick, let's look at California Angels defensively. Danny Ford once again starts off playing right field, and over in center field, Rick Miller making his 4th start there. In center, we have a change. Don Baylor comes off the DH list, and he will start. Normally, he doesn't play the outfield because he has a less than strong throwing arm. At shortstop, Jimmy Anderson, no change there. The third baseman, Carney Lansford, he'll play every game this series. Over at second, Bobby Grich, one of the heroes of last night. The first baseman, another hero, Rod Carew, who started things off with that double. Behind the plate, Brian Downing, who experienced a little deja vu, as he put it, last night. And the pitcher for the Angels today, Chris Knapp. Chris was only 5-5 during the season. He had a herniated disc in his back. Was out for 2 months right around the All-Star break. Made a strong comeback, much like Frank Tanana, and has really helped this club down the stretch. He's got the basic 4 pitches, the fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. The slider was the last pitch to come back for him after he came off of the injury. He was getting bombed up until then, and suddenly his arm, his back, everything came back the way it was supposed to be. He got his slider back and is pitching strong.
If Knapp is to win, he must keep the ball down. He gets it up and he gets hurt. There are the statistics for Chris Knapp in 1979. Just 5 wins and 5 losses, a high ERA of 5.51. However, he has won 10 in a row at Anaheim Stadium. If he gets in any early trouble, Dave Frost, the starter in Game 2, has been ticketed by Fregosi to come in. Al Bumbry. Here's a man that had a lot to think about last night. He had given the Orioles the lead 3-2 by sprinting to third with a triple on a base hit to right center, then only to drop it and lose it, but seems to be in a good mood today. Outstanding athlete. We told you before, a Vietnam veteran. He's been through a lot more than a drop fly ball in his lifetime. We're underway, and that's exactly where Knapp does not want to throw it. He's 2 different pitchers, Sparky. When he's below the waist, he is tough. The ball naturally sinks. Upstairs, it flattens out. 2-0.
I tell you, Dick, it looks like right now he's not bending his back at all on the first 2 pitches. If you'll watch Knapp, like you said, he has to throw that sinker, and he'll bend that back, and he's not bending the back right now.
2 balls and a strike.
Got down a little bit better there. He's got it like he's reaching for the plate and get that back right on down.
Knapp grew up in Michigan, attended Central Michigan University, now makes his home in Sarasota, Florida. Fouled away, and it's 2-2.
There's a look at Chris Knapp in slow motion. It was a marvelous trade that brought him over here with his teammate Brian Downing and Dave Frost, all 3 of them. But you see, he is standing up straight there, Sparky.
That's straight up for him. He has to be much lower.
2-2 pitch. Too high, 3-2.
He is standing up straight. He's not bending that back, and that is causing him to go up high. Now, he wasn't bothered this month with that, was he, Dick? I thought he'd made a strong comeback and was pitching well.
Well, but in the back of his mind, and even to be back from a ruptured disc, anyone who's had back problems understands his problem. Grich there behind second. 1 away. And again, you'll see if Knapp is pitching well because he'll throw ground balls.
I think, Dick, too, we have to remember a little bit, this is the first time he's ever pitched in a game like that. If he can get through this first inning all right, then all those jitters and all those agonies will be gone.
Garcia sharing the shortstop role with Mark Belanger. 2 for 6, as you see. A couple of RBIs with base hits back in Baltimore in Game 2. 333 down the lines, 386 in the deep alleys, 404 center. It'll play much shorter today. There's the first slider, and he hit the outside corner. 26 years of age, 6'5", 200 pounds. Crowd looking for a strikeout. 1-2. Two balls, two strikes.
There, Dick, it wasn't that he wasn't down there. What he did is he got with his arm, he got under the ball, what you call getting under the ball where you lead your elbow. On that pitch, he just led the elbow and left the hand right back on him.
Just like a whip, that wrist has to be out in front.
Has to be out in front of him.
Ball 3, 3-2.
When a pitcher starts doing that, often you'll see the catcher raise his arm up to indicate to the pitcher, get on top of that ball.
How many times we've seen that, and that's exactly the you don't want to lead with the elbow. Full count to Garcia after Knapp was ahead 0-2. Fly ball, right field. Dan Ford has a beat on it. Now Knapp gets the first two Oriole hitters.
Batting third.
It's a sunshiny day in Anaheim. Temperature about 80 degrees. Ken Singleton, who makes his home north of Los Angeles, Westlake Village. Powerful switch hitting outfielder, 3 for 11 in the series. He scored 3 runs. Trade with Montreal that brought Mike Torres and Singleton to Birdland. And as Wes pointed out, the Angels trade, they got Chris Knapp, his battery mate Brian Downing, and Dave Frost from the White Sox in the Bobby Bonds deal. Bonds, outfielder Thad Bosley, and young pitcher Rich Dotson going to Chicago. Base hit. Singleton. 2-0 swing and nails a single to center field for the game's first hit.
Batting fourth.
Brings up first baseman Eddie Murray. Murray, 2 walks and 2 hits last night, 2 for 2. 4 for 8 in the series, including a 3-run home run.
I know that Larry Sherry, the pitching coach for the Angels, have to be happy, though, Dick. Those last 3 pitches of Singleton were all down. 2 of them were too low, but he'd rather have him there right now, as you said, than getting up.
Outfield deep and just a shade toward right. And he got it down at the knees again, fouled away. Play Murray with respect and almost straight away. Good power straight away. He can hit the ball out to left center as well as right center.
And dead center. He can hit it right over that 404. He's tremendous power all the way out.
Ooh. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They better respect him a little bit more in center field. Rick Miller is playing pretty shallow out there. He's leaving a lot of room behind him, between him and the wall.
Now Miller feels that the way he gets a break in the ball, I suppose he can get back.
The thing is, though, Dick, he can't cut off the alleys, and if Murray lines one up right or left center field, Singleton can score from first base.
Good point. 2 outs. You want to play deeper. Out of play. Jammed was Murray on that swing. 1-2. Scott McGregor, the Oriole pitcher, waiting his turn, hoping that his team can get him something to work with. John Lowenstein, the on-deck hitter. Crowd comes to life again. Once that pitcher gets 2 strikes on an Oriole hitter, they're looking for a strikeout. Runner goes, and a little looper to Lansford. No runs, 1 hit, 1 Oriole left. After a half inning, Baltimore nothing. The Angels against Scott McGregor are coming to bat.
Chrysler announces the truck and van rebate countdown. Get a Plymouth Trail Duster, Dodge van, Ram Charger, or a full-size pickup and get a $400 check to go with it. October 18th is the last day and the countdown is on. Chrysler has given dealers the biggest cash incentives in Chrysler's history. Big discounts they can pass on to you. But hurry, the countdown is on. Get a great deal and a $400 check. October 18th, the very last day.
What's so great about the IBM Series 3 copier? Easy. At the touch of a button, it can make a same-size copy or a reduced-size copy. It can copy on one side of your paper or two. You want lots of copies. It's fast. And the quality of the IBM Series 3 copier is so good, it's hard to tell the copy from the original. Say goodnight, George. Good night, George.
Scott McGregor readies to tune up prior to his first pitch in the bottom of the first inning. The Orioles deploy themselves defensively. Here's West with that alignment.
Kenny Singleton will start off again in right field. He's a familiar face out there, has been all year. Over in center field, Al Bumbry, excellent defensive ball player and offensive. In left field, John Lowenstein making another start. He started game number 2, hero of game number 1. The shortstop, once again, Kiko Garcia. He has started every game except the first one when Mark Belanger opened. At third base, Doug DeSensei. No surprise there. Second base, a change. Billy Smith, the ex-Angel, will start at second in place of Rich Dower. First base, Eddie Murray. The catcher, once again, is Rick Dempsey. He started 3 of the 4 games. And the pitcher for the Orioles, the 4th starter in their rotation, Scott McGregor, but a very, very fine pitcher. He has the basic 4 pitches, fastball, curve, slider, and changeup. All the Oriole pitchers throw that changeup so well. McGregor will move the ball around, doesn't throw as hard as maybe some of the other starters we've seen, but has excellent control. He led the American League in fewest walks per inning or per game. So he's a fine control pitcher, a good artist, a thinking pitcher, very much like Dave McNally.
Here's McGregor's 1979 record. 13 wins and 6 losses. ERA 3.35. Completed 7 of his 23 starts, and he won't hurt himself with a walk. Against the Angels, McGregor was 2-0, allowing only 1 earned run in nearly 17 innings. He beat them 3-2 and 2-1. Rod Carew has had a big series, leads all hitters with those 6 base hits, half of them doubles. Lansford and Ford to follow. If the Angels follow their pattern, they've scored a run in the first inning all 3 previous games. That slow curveball in there for a strike.
Dick McGregor has to be careful of one thing here, though. The ball travels so well in the daytime, he cannot get balls up to those right-handed power hitters.
Another slow curve down low, 1-1. And the light breeze is blowing out. That'll make it even easier for the ball to carry. McGregor starts off with 3 slow curveballs.
Boy, that is a slow curveball, too. He really pulls a string on that pitch, and it's hard to wait back because you know he's got that sneaky fastball, so you start to look for the fastball and then get this curve. It looks like it comes in about half as slow as you think it's going to, or twice as slow.
He does look like McNally, doesn't he, in his form and size. Another slow curve outside, 2-2. 4 straight breaking balls to open the ball game.
He pitches a little like Tanana, too, in that he throws across his body, steps out toward the first base side.
Jim Fregosi, pitching coach Larry Sherry. Fastball, try to slip it by Carew. 2-2. You know, Carew talked about his hitting form yesterday. Sparky, I've never seen a hitter carry the bat so high up into his fingers. He doesn't carry it into the palm of his hand. It's almost as if he's barely holding on to it, with way up into his fingers. Slow curve, 3-2.
He carries it the way you're supposed to, like a golfer. A golfer puts that club right up in the ends of the fingers. That's where it's all at, and all your great hitters do it. They really do.
Full count. Line drive to Garcia. 3-2. He got a fastball and lined it to the shortstop.
Number 12, third baseman, Tony
obviously one of the great hitters of all time, Rod Carew, right on a fastball. And all good hitters will drive the ball to the opposite field. Carew does that a lot.
Garcia positioned just right, and there's one away. Carney Lansford, 4 for 13. Good fastball. Carew got the steady diet of breaking stuff. We'll see how McGregor works the right-handed hitter. 0-2. That appeared to be the changeup.
I don't think he'll throw nearly as many curveballs to the right-handed hitters because there's much more of a danger of hanging one.
Ground ball to DeCinces. And there's 2 gone. So McGregor gets Carew and Lansford, and here's Dan Ford, the right fielder.
Number 50.
You have 2 third basemen in this series, DeCinces and Tommy Lansford. If young kids will just watch how they get down on that ball, they'll understand what real fielding's all about.
First inning Ford. That's been true in this series. A home run game 1 in the first inning, a home run game 2 in the first inning, and last night an RBI single in the first inning. Deliberate in taking his position in the batter's box. The outfield with 2 out playing deep, trying to cut off the extra base hit. And they're around toward right. Fly ball right field. Hit well. Singleton back and has room. 1, 2, 3, the Angels story. And after 1 in Anaheim, the Angels nothing, the Orioles nothing.
Polaroid's One Step is the world's simplest camera. And watch what happens when I press the button. A free picture comes out and develops in minutes.
That's pretty. How come it's free?
Because Polaroid will send you a pack of film and a flash bar free just for buying this camera.
They're having a sale?
A limited offer, it sounds nicer.
They'll be sorry.
Why?
If you buy enough cameras, you'll never have to buy any film.
You figure it out.
Get the One Step.
The problem? It takes a lot of communication to get an airplane off the ground. Delta Airlines, growing fast, needed a new communication system. So they called in the Bell System experts, headed by account executive Charles Bullock. The Bell solution, 260 keyboard displays and printers, installed in 92 cities. This new Bell network works 10 times faster than the one it replaced. Another case that shows the system is the solution.
I can tell by the happy mood you're in, by that ever-widening grin. You look like you just heard from Dean Witter.
At Dean Witter, your investment program is designed around you and no one else, so you can't help smiling when you hear from us.
You look like you just heard from Dean Witter. You look like.
Saturday on Chips, Ponch and John are hot on the dangerous trail of a gang of gas bandits. Next.
Something's wrong. I can feel it.
Can BJ help Snow White and the 7 Lady Truckers deliver a fortune in used currency? Then, on A Man Called Sloan, a mad general with a diabolical weapon plots to capture an atom bomb. An explosive evening of danger tonight.
Anaheim Stadium, just a couple of Ken Singleton or Don Baylor home runs from Disneyland. And down that freeway, Cal State Fullerton, you see the construction. If you weren't with us last night, they'll completely triple deck this stadium. Over 70,000 fans will be accommodated as the Los Angeles Rams move to Anaheim for the next NFL season, 1980. Because of the construction, they were unable to put up temporary bleachers in the outfield. If you remember back 1967 when Anaheim Stadium was the host of the All-Star game, they had football bleachers in the outfield, and so the crowd was 48,000, but obviously for safety reasons, they could not put up the bleachers for this playoff series. But there's going to be a lot of room starting in 1980. John Lowenstein, he's had his day in the sun. That dramatic 2-out pinch hit home run to win game 1. It's part of the Anaheim Stadium beach area. 1 strike.
We were talking about McGregor being sneaky fast. Knapp is too. He has that slow windup, Dick, and right at the end, he really pops that ball out of his hand.
He does something, if you're just watching, he first pitched fastball right in on him. Then he went away with a fastball and missed, and then came right back in on him. He got Murray, knocked the bat out of his hand on the ball right in on him.
1-2 the count. Got him. Nope, foul ball. Foul ball right at the feet of Downing. Lowenstein, Kelly, and DeCinces in the Orioles' second inning. Baltimore 1 win away from a World Series date with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Angels need 2. Foul to the screen. Pat Kelly waits his turn. Lowenstein from nearby University of California, Riverside. Pulls it foul past Jim Fry, the coach at first. I like Fry's comment about the Baltimore Orioles is that we're like the city. They may think we're small, but we play tall.
Let me write that down.
Fly ball back is short. No, it's going to be the third baseman Lansford in foul territory for the first out. Baltimore Oriole first base dugout. Angels occupy the third base side. Pat Kelly, 2 for 7.
Here's an underrated hitter, Dick. He's done a superb job for Baltimore all year long as a DH, as a pinch hitter. He's done well in this series. He waits on the ball well, and he's quick with his hands.
And he still has good speed. Oh, throw him a little change curveball. 1 strike to Kelly. Inside 1-1. Kelly broke in with the Minnesota Twins in 1963. He's now 35. Base hit. Hung that one. And Kelly whistles a single to right for the second Oriole hit.
Looked like it might have been a hanging curveball, but you got to give Kelly some credit too. I talked about how he waits on the ball, and look how he does, and then he just pops those hands. He's got a classic swing too, just a beautiful swing.
Kelly, in his younger years, would always be a threat to steal. Now he picks his spots. The hitter is Doug DeCinces.
Don't sell him short, as you said, Dick, as a base stealing threat. This could be one of those spots. He stole 40 bases back in 1969. That was his high.
Knapp does not have a good move to first base.
Well, he looks like he's so deliberate that he would be slow delivering the ball to the plate, which would give the runner a good jump.
Strike.
You can't steal on that very easy for this reason, Wes. Watch his front foot. He just picks it up and sets it down. He doesn't even bring it up, and that's the one thing I noticed this year when we played him. You couldn't run on him.
Because he doesn't have that high knee kick that we talked about earlier.
Dick. He just barely, he doesn't even pick it up hard. He just slides it forward.
1-1.
And this is so important for pitchers that can do this. They really help that catcher. See, he just kind of steps it and there it goes. And when it's speeded up, well, there's no way in the world that you can get a good jump off him.
1 out. Kelly at first, top of the second, no score.
It's amazing, Sparky, that he can do that, because most pitchers will pitch out of their stretch almost the same way they pitch out of their windup. But he has almost 2 distinct types of deliveries.
I think he's had to learn that. They probably stole him to death when he started, Wes.
Fouled away. You could see DeCinces trying to go to right field. The Orioles have shown that part of their schooling throughout this series, that they don't try to pull everything. They've had many of their base hits to the opposite field. Crowd asking for a strikeout or double play. 1-2 on DeCinces. bluffs, and it's 2-2. Kelly had 4 steals this year.
He'll go, Dick. He's maybe testing here. Maybe he was thinking of going or just trying to keep downing on his toes. Sometimes a hitter will, or a runner will get that jump and he won't like it. He'll take 2 steps and say, no, that wasn't my good one, and just stop.
2-2 pitch. Kelly goes. Swung on and fouled. And for the Angels, perhaps just as well, because Kelly had himself second base. It remains 2-2. Kelly back to the bag. Pat, in his career, has had some big steal seasons, going back to Kansas City in '69 when he pilfered 40. And overall, as a major leaguer, well, there's the total, 232, counting his 5 this year.
Dick, notice how that base pass, you're right, how he's already tore that up, and here we are just in the second inning.
We were talking about that last night. With that crushed brick surface on the infield, it tends to clump up as the runners use it, or the infielders. There he goes. Too late. The throw was there in time, but too high for Grich to get it down on the sliding Kelly, and the count is 3-2.
He uses a different type of slide than we've seen so far. Most of the runners are going straight in with that pop-up or stand-up slide, and he hooks the bag. He had the throw beaten anyway, but he wanted to slide away from the throw just in case it was in time to have a play on him. The throw was high anyway.
It's a pretty looking slide.
Oh, for any kids watching in, here's your classic hook slide to try and throw the body to the right side of the field to make less of a tagging target for the infielder.
The count full to DeCinces. The Orioles have a chance. Foul back toward us. Get that one, Sparky.
I had bad hands when I played, Dick. What do you expect me to do now?
You know, there's something about the attraction, though. It's magnetic. A ball comes toward you. Now, ex-ball players, they don't care. But a fan, he just has to get a chance at it, charge those line drives. Hit well to center. But Miller's there, tagging Kelly. And he's into third. Good throw by Miller, but not in time. Now the Orioles 90 feet away from the game's first run, 2 out, and it's up next Angel Billy Smith. Smith from San Antonio, Texas. His father was an all-world player in fast-pitch softball. His dad now the athletic director down at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. Billy said, if I could only hit like my papa. I said, how'd you learn how to switch hit? He said, well, when I was 8, the coaches wanted me to move up in the Little League ranks, and my dad wouldn't let me, so I got mad and I hit the other way. I just, to show him, if you're going to keep me down here, I'll hit to the weak side. And he taught himself to be, out of spite, a switch hitter. He has, and the reason he's in the lineup today, 6 home runs this year, all left-handed. And against the Angels, hit 1 of them. Ball 2.
It's always interesting, Dick, to hear the stories about how guys did become pinch hitters. That's one of the most unusual I've ever heard. I had a very good Little League coach who got me started doing that, but most players really don't start switch hitting until they make it to the major leagues or start playing professional baseball.
Well, that was Eddie Murray's case. Little high and away, 3-0. Rick Dempsey would be next. Ooh, swinging 3-0 and fouls it away. So Earl Weaver gives his second baseman the green light.
Sparky, did you let your hitters hit 3-0?
Always, Wes, especially with 2 out. You have 2 out men in scoring position. What good's a base on ball is going to do? Turn him loose, he gets the ball he wants, and he lets it go.
3-1, here it comes. Foul toward us and into the third deck. There's 2 strikes on a hitter in Anaheim. That roar starts to build. 3-2. Pops him up. Downing coming back, fighting the sun. Boy, that was a tough play. Into the sun, and the ball really tailing toward the first base dugout. No runs. 1 hit, 1 left, middle of the second, no score.
How fast can you send a letter coast to coast? Watch. New York, Chicago, the Mississippi River. This is how fast with the new IBM 6670 information distributor. Los Angeles, delivered in 15 seconds, printed by a laser, typewriter quality, cost about 8 cents. The IBM 6670.
Hey, how was the monster that ate Tokyo?
It made me scared. It made me hungry.
Then you're going for a burger?
Have you seen the price of burgers lately?
We're going to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
At the Colonel's Idaho, we always get fresh quality chicken.
Now, this is a good meal at a price that makes good sense. Right, son?
Right.
It's so nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You don't need a haircut, Mr. Reed. You need Brill Cream.
Brill Cream?
Sure. Your hair is short enough, but it's a mess.
It sure is.
Brill Cream's so concentrated, just a little dab keeps my hair healthy looking and in control all day. Watch. Without Brill Cream, hair's out of control. With Brill Cream, hair stays in control. Try a little dab. See? Terrific, huh?
You're right. With Brill Cream, a little dab will do you.
Hi, I'm Brian Gumbel. The United Nations has proclaimed 1979 the International Year of the Child. NBC Sports proudly joins in this celebration saluting the children of the world.
Well, that perspective, you're in the shade of the second deck of the 3-deck, and it was the shade that Downing was looking for in that pop foul.
Dick, the hardest pop-up to catch is the one that goes straight over your head. Now, Downing coming back, you can see he's really shading his eyes. He can't wear those dark glasses, so he's got to use his glove. Now, when he takes the glove away, he's looking right into that sun, but fighting the glare, he makes the catch. Also moving to his left, little breeze blowing that way, apparently.
Don Baylor leads off the Angels' second inning, homered last night. Got one up in his eyes and fouled it back. Baylor, Downing, and Gritch in the home half of the second inning. No score. Hit by pitches as much as anyone in the league because he stands right on home plate and is a fearless hitter.
You know who taught him to stand on home plate like that? Earl Weaver.
That's right. Yes, he did. There's that good changeup and had Baylor out in front. 1-2.
The reason, Dick, is that when Don Baylor first came up with Baltimore, he hit about 10 home runs a year. Well, Earl Weaver wanted him to supply more power. They had lost Frank Robinson, who was their big man. They wanted Don to hit that ball out of the park. So Earl told him to get up on the plate and start pulling that ball more. And, of course, it's paid off. It turned out to be good advice for him.
Baylor was hit 11 times this year. And Gary Renicky, who also stands right up on the plate for the Orioles, he, too, led his team in that painful statistic. He was plucked 12 times. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High pop foul. The Sensei back in the 6th row. Not a bad play by that fan. Brought his glove. He knew what he was doing. When that happens in Baltimore, they have a nice tradition there. They'll say, give that man or woman an Oriole contract, and they have a fan contract whenever you make a good play in the stands. I think that's a nice idea. Line to left, foul. Baylor was a great high school football player in his native state of Texas, but in that that sport separated his shoulder a time or two, and that is why he does not throw well and has taken a part of his game away. You can imagine with that body, when he was healthy, he could do that pretty well too. But now he's not the complete player, and that's why he's so often the designated hitter and not the left fielder, because he just has trouble throwing any distance.
There's not too much wrong with that body right now, Dick. He is a strong man.
He's built a lot like me, Sparky.
Yeah, he's built a lot like me, too.
Check swing foul, and it's still 2-2.
I think over the last couple of years, Don Baylor may be the best hitter I've seen in the American League, other than somebody like Rod Carew. But Don is a power hitter, a different type of hitter. It's a lot of line drives.
Popped him up into shallow right. Dempsey and Smith, or check that Eddie Murray and Smith, and Murray, who had trouble with one of those last night, makes it look easy.
I'm surprised they let Eddie Murray make that play. They did it last night, and he dropped the ball. The second baseman should come over and help him out, because for a first baseman to catch a ball hit straight over his head, or for anybody to do it, it's a difficult play.
But see, the sun would be fighting. Smith would have to be looking into the sun. Maybe that's the reason.
Well, he backpedals and does it well, but if that ball's not hit that high, he won't have as much time. Then your second baseman has to make the play.
Brian Downing, Angel catcher, as McGregor, off to a fine start, has retired the first 4 men he has faced. Downing scored the winning run last night after that dramatic sequence. Stanhouse in front of him 0-2, and Downing worked it to 3-2 and finally walked on a very close pitch. Up the middle, off Garcia's glove. Downing is aboard. First Angel base runner. That ball scooted on Garcia.
Dick, we've seen this happen all through the series. The ball is staying down, and the infielders are going to have to adjust. Garcia was there. He just didn't have his glove down low enough. Watch this ball kick off the bottom part of the glove and go underneath it. You just got to bend down and keep that glove real low.
The Orioles, who had played flawlessly in the field until last night when they committed 3 errors, one, of course, costing them the game, Bumbry's drop of the line drive in center, have the first miscue of this day's play. 1 out. Bobby Grich has only 1 hit in the series.
If you want to see something, watch McGregor's move. There's no way. You don't know which way he's going when he brings that leg up.
Yeah, he has one of the best pickoff moves in baseball. He gets 7 or 8 every year, and that's when they know he's got a good move.
I've sat there and watched him, got right in line with him down the end of the dugout, and you just cannot tell when he brings that leg up whether he's going to first or home.
Down low, ball 2.
That's smart. See what he's doing now. He's taking a walk. He knows he's in a tough spot. He's got a runner on. Error made behind him. He's 2-0 to the hitter. So he takes a little walk, gets his concentration back.
Ball 3. McGregor from El Segundo High School. That's just toward the beach, the Los Angeles area. Strike 3-1. How about this for a high school team, Sparky? Your pitcher is Scott McGregor, and your third baseman is George Brett. Same high school team.
And did you know that McGregor out-hit George Brett in high school?
Is that right?
Yes, he did.
That's hard to believe. 3-1 to Grich. Downing at first. 1 out. He goes. And the play is at first base for the second out. So by sending Downing, the Angels avoid the double play. And Redmond will come up with a runner at second.
Did you notice Downing there, though? He didn't leave till the ball was starting to leave McGregor's hand, because I'm telling you, this guy is just super. He'll come up and hold on you sometime and let you decide what you want to do.
Merv Redmond, pinch hitter, the only other time up in the series, and walked, as you saw. 2 out. Downing at second. Ball 1.
It's funny here, Dick, we talked about Earl Weaver trying to make Don Baylor into a power hitter, which worked out. They tried the same thing with Rettman. He had 18 home runs and batted .322 in 1970. Then they tried to get him to hit more home runs. He dropped down from .318 to .233 the next year, so it didn't work with him.
Try 1-1. Rettman had 1 home run this year, but was only at bat 76 times, primarily a pinch hitter. He had .263.
Well, he's got some power, but he's really not a home run hitter. He doesn't have the body for it. He's only 5'11", but he's a solid 190.
Tilted a lot to right center, although they play him to pull. That change just missed, and it's 2-1. See, the center fielder, Bumbre, swung a few steps into left center. Good hole in right center, and Rettman will hit that ball that way now and then. Good guy to have in a ball club, Sparky. He's a good humor man. He's very bright, and he keeps everyone loose and knows his role as a veteran player.
We had him and Terry Crowley at the same time, and we got him from Baltimore, and they're just both. They know how to play baseball, and they're super people around the clubhouse.
2 balls and a strike. McGregor fell behind Grich 3-0 and then got him on a 3-1 ground out. Now 3 balls and a strike to Rettman.
McGregor really don't care here. I don't think he'll give in to Rettman because he's got Miller coming up the left-hander next with 2 out deck, and he really knows who's on that on-deck circle.
First base is open. Hit to left center field. Lowenstein has it, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, an error and a man left at second. 2 innings complete in Anaheim, where the Orioles and the Angels are scoreless.
For over 30 years, people have been buying Poland chainsaws.
Wouldn't use anything but a Poulan.
Poland, Ed. Poland.
And for over 30 years, they've been mispronouncing our name.
Poulan.
So we'd like to remind you that our name is Poland. And for a tough, dependable chainsaw, Poland is the only name you need to remember, no matter how you pronounce it.
Poland.
Ram power. Dodge gives you Ram power.
Now Dodge pickups go beyond tough. They're Ram tough. The biggest maximum payloads. More than Ford or Chevy. The most brute power with its most fuel-efficient V8. And with optional 3-speed automatic. The best mileage ratings, too. More than Ford or Chevy. Now,
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
Dodge announces the truck and van rebate countdown. Get a full-size pickup, a Dodge van, or a Ram Charger, and a $400 check to go with it. But hurry, October 18th is the last day, and the countdown is on. Chrysler has given dealers the biggest cash incentives in Chrysler's history. Big discounts they can pass on to you. But hurry, the countdown is on. Get a great deal and a $400 check. October 18th, the very last day.
Start your day with NFL 79, followed by regional coverage of exciting NFL action. Telecasts include the Steelers-Browns battle and the Bronco-Chargers clash, Sunday.
And we have some outstanding football action for you tomorrow on NBC. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Jets, Baltimore, San Diego, Denver, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time, and then Seattle at San Francisco, 4:30 Eastern time. And that first one on that list, Wes Parker, should be a good one.
That's the one I like. You know, the Steelers have had a lot of injuries this year, but they've hung in there real well. They could have beaten the Eagles last week. Cleveland is the team that always gets sky high for them. In fact, Cleveland never plays a good game the week before and the week after they play Pittsburgh.
And as noisy as it's been here in Anaheim and in Baltimore, you know there's going to be a lot of folks cheering tomorrow, some 80,000 at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. And you'll see it all right here on NBC. And if Game 5 of this American League Championship Series develops, we'll have that for you afterwards. Rick Dempsey leads off the Baltimore third inning with a single to center. Dempsey's third hit in the series. For the first time in the game, a leadoff man is on.
I like Rick Dempsey as a ball player. He doesn't have impressive statistics, but he is a fighter out there, Sparky. Don't you think so?
Yeah, he's very tough. He's really intelligent. He does a great job with their pitching staff. He's the boss back there when he's catching.
Bunbury, an excellent butter, and the Angels play him tight. Lansford to step in on the grass at third. Dempsey not a threat to run. Strike one to Bunbury, who grounded to second to open the ball game. Kind of get the feeling that Al might just try to drop one down. You figure with his speed, a good bunt, he beats it out, and if he doesn't, he moves the man into scoring position. Nope, swings away. That shows you all I know about this game.
That's why you've got some analysts, some experts.
That's right. I noticed you guys were quiet. Thanks a lot.
I tell you what he was trying to do, though, with Connie being up close, he was, if you notice, he was trying to hit that ball by him down there.
2 strikes on Bunbury. Slices that one foul and out of play. You know, that particular theme has already been a disastrous one for the Angels. They had in the Kansas City series, Royal Flush was the title, and Jim Barr thought it was made of paper, and as he came off the field when the Angels clinched the division title, took a swing at it. It wasn't cardboard, it was real, and Jim Barr has a broken hand, and that's why he's not available for the series. Now that humor is lost a bit here for those who know the story of a similar such sign. 1-2 pitch. Just missed. John Denkinger says no. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Denkinger, plate umpire, Al Clark at first, Greg Kosk at second, Larry Barnett's at third, Ford and Evans on the lines. Now it's 3-2.
That's what he did not want to do, is go 3-2, because now you can start that runner on first base. That you'll lose the double play, and if you get a base hit, it's almost automatically first and third.
Full count to Bunbury. Dempsey goes, and it's fouled away. We pause briefly for station identification. From Anaheim, California, this is the NBC Television Network. NBC presents Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. Dick Enberg, Wes Parker, Tiger skipper Sparky Anderson from Anaheim Stadium. We're in the top of the third, no one out. No score, Rick Dempsey at first base. Al Bunbury the batter. The count 3 balls, 2 strikes. Chris Knapp, the Angel pitcher. Runner goes. Ball 4, and the Orioles have something going here in the top of the third.
What I don't like right here, Dick, the first man up, Dempsey, the first pitch was up. He hit a line drive to center field. Now he's throwing Bunbury. About 5 of those pitches were all up on him.
The batter, Kiko Garcia, flied to right his first time up. All right, does Earl Weaver, with Singleton and Murray coming up, go to the sacrifice, or does he feel that if Garcia bunts him along, you walk Singleton anyway?
I would expect a bunt right here, and that's what the Angels are looking for. They're in at the corners.
He's going to bunt. There's no question about that.
Ball 1, and it's high again. And the Angel telephone is ringing out in the bullpen. Here comes Larry Sherry, the pitching coach. That'll give us a chance to remind you this telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Dave Frost, the starter in Game 2 in Baltimore, loosening up in the bullpen. Fregosi had indicated he would waste no time getting Frost up, but Dave is a starter. It takes him a long time to loosen up. And It's almost as if when he gets ready, you have to use him. If you don't sit him back down, get him up again, he may not have his stuff. Especially in that he had elbow problems anyway down the stretch. 5 straight balls thrown by Chris Knapp after he was 0-2 on Bunbury. Infield playing for the bunt. See if Weaver, no, going to stay with the sacrifice, and it looks like a good one. Carew can't hold on to the ball. Knapp was right there, would have had an easier play, and the bases are loaded.
Dick, that can happen sometimes. Carew was in there so far. He charged his bunt so well, and it just bounced up and went back over his head. It's a tough play. He actually just overcharged the ball. And we've seen so many kangaroo hops off this hard ground in front of home plate. This might have hit the plate. Now, Knapp was there, but Carew, of course, didn't know it. He tries to make a miraculous play, and the ball just slips out of his hand.
Unusual scoring decision. That's not just a sacrifice. They've given Garcia a hit. Bases are loaded. Carew made it a tough play. Knapp was right there behind him.
Now the Angels want to get out of this inning. They would settle for just 1 run scoring at this time. They've got their infield back. They would like to get a quick double play and then get that 3rd out and just be down 1-0.
Orioles couldn't ask for more than this. Bases loaded. Their best hitters are up. Singleton and Murray with a table set.
Singleton was looking to hit one there that you don't play no more. You know, they kind of leave the yard.
He was going for the downs. Bases loaded. No score, but no one out in the Orioles' 3rd. 1-1. And of course, Singleton also puts pressure on Knapp because Knapp knows that you have to throw this hitter a strike. He walks aplenty. Second best with 109 to Darrell Porter of the Royals this year. Rips, and he got a high breaking ball that time. The sign says bye-bye birdies, but Singleton had a different exclamation point for bye-bye with that swing. 1-2. An Oriole perched at every base. No one out in the 3rd. Knapp backing off the rubber. That'll get a run in. Baylor, I don't think he saw it until that last second. All the runners tag, and the run scores. It's 1-0 as Dempsey checks in for Baltimore. Sparky, it looked to me the way he acted at the last minute that he really wasn't sure where that ball was until the last second.
I'll tell you, Dick, he didn't. He had a beat on it when it first went up, and then that ball got up above those stands and got in that sun, and you're right, he lost that ball and it came back to him right at the end.
That is one of the most helpless feelings you can have. Yeah, you can see it right there. He got startled when he saw where the ball was again. What happens is you see the ball as it's going up, then it gets into the sun. Suddenly you don't see it anymore, and you have to look above the sun for the ball to reemerge. And when it reemerged, he was about 4 feet off. That's why he suddenly staggered to his right. But he makes a good play here, and the important thing was he held the runner at second, Al Bunbury, from tagging up.
Here's another look. Ooh, you can see that. Oh, you just hope you can find the ball. You're just searching.
You pray that when it comes out, it'll be somewhere close to where you're standing.
1 out. Murray up. Still 2 men on base for Baltimore. Murray, soft liner to 3rd, his first time up. A single by Dempsey. The walk to Bunbury. Garcia's bunt loads it up. Singleton drives in his first run of the series with that sacrifice fly to left. Murray, a tough out against the Angels all year long. Their most productive hitter, Baltimore, against Angel pitching. 1-1.
He was looking to hammer that ball, Sparky. He had a bad cut at an outside pitch because he was looking for that fastball inside. He wants to hit one out right now. He's ready to wheel. That ball runs away from him. See him lunging for that ball? Oh, he wanted that fastball in.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bunbury, a good runner at second. Garcia at first. And it's 2-1.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a pleasure in the American League the next few years to look at all these good young ball players, Rice and Lynn, Connie Lansford, and Eddie Murray. These guys in 3-4 years from now are just going to dominate the game.
You've got a few over in Detroit, too. Line drive. That's a base hit into the right field corner. Ford trying to cut it off. 1 run scores. A long single by Murray. It's 2-0, Baltimore. Murray drives in his 5th run of this series.
Wes, Ford made a great play on that ball, though, getting over there and holding Murray to a single on that play.
You bet he did. And Eddie Murray ran the bases well. He was almost halfway to second just to see where that throw was going to go. And when he saw that it was on line, he went back to first. But Ford did do a great hustling job on that play.
That's going to be all for Chris Knapp. Murray, apparently in turning first and putting on the brakes, may have turned an ankle. Doesn't appear to be serious, but Earl Weaver's out to check on him. Meanwhile, Jim Fregosi has signaled he wants to go to the bullpen. And with a left-handed hitter John Lowenstein up, it'll be veteran reliever Dave LaRoche who comes in for California. Breaking the action here in Anaheim. The score with only 1 out in the 3rd. Baltimore 2. The Angels nothing.
I got my start playing golf driving a tractor.
Arnold Palmer, back home in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
My father was pro here, but before he taught me to play golf, he taught me to treat the equipment right. So, we used Pennzoil, and I think that old tractor of ours lasted 30 years or more. Look, if Pennzoil and I hadn't taken good care of the equipment, I might have never gotten on the golf course.
Pennzoil, America's ask-for motor oil.
Can your secretary go through your files this fast? Can your secretary type your letters this fast? Or send your mail this fast? Now she can. And all at the touch of her fingers with the IBM Office System 6. It's that fast.
Going up?
Move up to Budget Rent-A-Car, where you're number 1.
I had no trouble getting here. Budget made it easy. They gave me this card, already printed up with exact directions. That's real service with travelers.
Budget Rent-A-Car proves you're number 1.
I can't believe it. Hertz charged $10 more than Budget for the same one-day rental on the same size car. And Budget's right inside most airports.
At Budget, you're number 1.
Chris Knapp out, and left-hander Dave LaRoche makes his first appearance in this playoff series, and he will not face Lowenstein. LaRoche looks up, and Gary Renicky comes in to pinch hit for Baltimore. LaRoche did not have a good year. That 5.57 ERA would indicate, after an outstanding season in 1978 when he won 10 and saved 25. Renicky, although his average not good, hit 2 home runs against the Angels this year, and he's just looking for at least a fly ball. 1 out, runners at first and third.
Dick, this goes back to what you said when the series started. The one thing that Earl has that Jimmy doesn't have, he has the bench strength. He can switch it any time on you, and it just makes it so tough. You're handicapped over here without Akins and without Rudy.
And of course, Jim Barr might be a man you'd see at this point too, but he's on the injury shelf. 1-1 to Renicky. Garcia at third, Murray at first, Weaver back into the dugout. Jim Fregosi hoping that LaRoche and his bullpen can keep it close. The Orioles have jumped in front 2-0. We're in the third. Infield playing back. They'll trade a run for a double play chance. 2-1. Pat Kelly, left-handed hitter, is on deck. See Renicky, like Baylor, right on top of the plate. Good power, 25 homers this year. Anderson gets one there, grits the first, double play. Ball wasn't hit that hard, but Anderson did a good job in feeding it to Grits.
It's a good pitch. He jams Renicky, so he's slow getting out of the box. Now watch how fast Anderson gets the ball out of his glove. That was the key to making the double play.
Well, the Orioles settle for 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 1. In the middle of the third in Anaheim, it's Baltimore 2. The Angels, nothing.
I like to relax when I'm traveling from one series to another. I like a pinch of Skoal between my cheek and gum, too. That's full tobacco pleasure without lighting up. So I can think about yesterday and tomorrow. Skoal's my brand, but lots of guys start with mild happy days. Either way, you're going with a winner.
Can I have your autograph, Mr. Mercer?
Mm-hmm.
For my husband?
Smokeless tobacco. A pinch is all it takes.
I had my own way of tackling. I used to grab the whole backfield. Then I threw guys out until I found the one with the ball. When I started drinking beer, I did the same thing. And this is the one I'm holding on to. Light beer from Miller. It has 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, and it tastes terrific, too. I also love the easy opening can.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
No way. Bic can shave me as well as Track 2.
To see if the 19 3/4 cent Bic leaves you feeling as smooth and close as an expensive Track 2, Bic did this test.
You're wasting your time.
In the test, 58% found the Bic shave equal to or better than the Track 2 shave.
They're right. There's no difference.
You see, Bic puts money in the blade, not the handle. That's why most men we tested felt the more expensive Track 2 shave no better than the 19 3/4 cent incredible Bic.
There's no difference.
Sound the danger signal. I can.
They were on their way home when it happened.
Collision imminent.
The worst nuclear submarine disaster in history.
Just try to get her leveled off. We're sinking too fast.
1,400 feet down, Charlton Heston and David Carradine try the impossible.
Leave the work that blows to Kingdom Come.
Gray Lady Down, a TV premiere Sunday.
Last of the third inning. Scott McGregor with a 2-0 lead. Gary Renicky stays in the game in left field. Apparently coming in to get some sunglasses. Well, he just wants a little help, something in his eye. An interesting piece of side drama between innings. Nolan Ryan, the Angels' fireballing right-hander, left the Angel dugout and jogged into the bullpen. Now, whether he just went down there to get away from the pressure of the dugout or whether he's down there as a volunteer to pitch should a situation develop, we do not know. But Ryan now has joined the Angel bullpen corps. We might speculate. There's Ryan standing now, number 30. If it goes game 5, he was to pitch tomorrow. It may be that Frost, in warming up Sparky, said, hey, I just don't have anything. So Ryan said, I'll volunteer.
I have to think that Ryan went to Jim Fregosi and said, Jimmy, I know tomorrow I'm scheduled, but there'll be no tomorrow if we don't win today. And if Frost is having any problem at all getting loose, send me down there. He said, I'll give you a shot at it.
Ryan, unfamiliar surroundings down in the bullpen. Gary Renicky having trouble with something in his eye, and he's headed back toward the clubhouse.
That's such a surprise to see something like that. You get a chance to play in a big game in a championship series and run out to left field and get a fly in your eye or something. That's just bad luck.
Big crowd on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Southern California. Last night's attendance is 43,199, the third largest in the stadium's history. The Angels' 17th sellout of the year, and they've enjoyed the big crowds. The Angels on sellouts are 15-2.
Dick, I think we ought to mention here that, the whole series we've talked about when Weaver's disappeared and everything. I like to tell the people why, though. That's a superstition that Earl has, When things get going like that, he feels that if he disappears for a minute, everything will clear up, and that's become a superstition with him.
It's not that
he's not afraid of the action. No, he's been through this action enough. That's just a little superstition, yes.
The Angels without a base hit as they go to bat against McGregor in the third. There it is, the first Angel hit. Well, you stack up your lineup with right-handed hitters, and the left-hander gets the hit. Brings up Jim Anderson. 1 for 8 in this series. Single to center last night.
Dick Anderson's a much better hitter when he tries to hit to the opposite field. And he's got a perfect opportunity to do it against a left-handed pitcher who will probably keep the ball away from him in a big hole over there.
Baltimore looking for 2. Sparky, you're nodding your head.
Keeping the ball away, just like Wes said, and Jimmy should be going to that hole with Murray holding him on first, and especially that infield, as hard as it is, he has to hit a ground ball and it's through.
He tried to.
He tried it. Boy, that's the smart way to play, and right now when you get the crowd behind you, the Orioles have just scored 2 runs, put them on the board, and you get a man on base, you've got to get something going. You don't want to hit into a double play here. It can just kill you.
Miller at first, leadoff single, and he'll keep an eye on McGregor's move. You'll notice he's not taking much of a lead. Ball 2. 2-1. McGregor, the #1 draft pick of the Yankees in '72. That obviously just a little token toss. Action pitch, 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3. That didn't miss by much. McGregor thought it was good enough to be called a strike. 3-1. No one out. 2-0 Baltimore in the home half of the third. Line. Smith to short for 1 and back to first, a double play. McGregor comes up with a double play pitch.
Just bad luck for Anderson. He did everything that we spoke about. He tried it in the opposite field, hit the ball hard, but right at the second baseman, and Baltimore turns that over.
Here it is again. Watch Garcia's right foot as he slides it to the bag. I'm not sure he got a piece of it.
I think he gave it a good try.
It's a phantom double play. Rod Carew takes it outside. So each team uses the double play in the third. Ball 2 to Carew. Boy, you're down 3-1 to the hitter, and he hits it hard. You get 2. That's when you're going good. Another well-hit ball, but right at Garcia. And the Angels are gone in the third inning. No runs, a hit, no one left. After 3, Baltimore leads California 2-0. And we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Every weekday at 4, go for the Good Times Gang right here on Channel 4.
Banana bread, quick bread, nut bread, quick bread, date bread, quick bread, Pillsbury quick bread mix.
Pillsbury quick breads take just 3 minutes from box to oven. They have good, wholesome ingredients like chopped walnuts, dates, and cranberries.
Really tastes homemade.
8 delicious quick breads, only from Pillsbury. My family loves them all.
Applesauce quick bread, cranberry quick bread, cherry nut quick bread, Pillsbury quick bread mix.
Hey, that stereo sounds great. What is it?
Craco.
Your choice at Nom Brothers, Craco Dashmaster AM/FM Multiplex 8-track or cassette. With a pair of coaxial speakers, now only $99.97.
Craco.
Just sounds expensive.
Now save over $50 on Craco In-Dash 8-track or cassette with speakers, only $99.97 at Nom Brothers.
On subscription television is turning Detroit on.
Now you can enjoy the finest in home entertainment, movies, specials, sports, and no commercials. It's the biggest stars in their brightest movies and selected home games from Michigan State, Michigan, and University of Detroit, plus Red Wing hockey. All live for only $22.50 a month after a standard installation fee. Detroit, get it all on. For information, call 583-2200 now.
Al Ackerman at the World Series, all next week at 6 and 11.
Mr. Autry's booth. Commissioner of Baseball Bowie Kuhn to the right of Mr. Autry. Nice to have baseball's top general with us in Anaheim Stadium today.
I know, Dick, the commissioner's awful happy with the turnout here and the way baseball's went this year because they've drawn more people than they ever have in their history.
Pat Kelly leads it off. Kelly single to right against starter Chris Knapp in the second inning. Kelly to Sensei Smith scheduled in the fourth for Baltimore. In there, 0-2. Has his first strikeout. Doug DeCinces, the batter for Baltimore. He flying to center field his only trip. LaRoche, 31 years of age, signed by the Angels originally, came up to the big leagues with the California club in 1970 and then was traded to Minnesota for Leo Cardenas in 1972. From Minnesota he went to the Cubs, and from the Cubs to Cleveland, and then back to the Angels. You go around? Yes. First base umpire Al Clark says he went around, to the dismay of DeCinces.
Did you see that look on DeCinces' face? I think part of the agony of having a strike call on something like this is that you can't argue with the umpire. He's too far away.
One strike on DeCinces. One out, no one on. Fourth inning, 2-0 Baltimore. Change.
I hate to say it, but as usual, the umpire was right.
Reminds me of an incident involving you in a World Series game when you were mic'd. Ground ball, base hit. DeCinces won't argue about that one. He's on his way to second base with a double.
Looked like Carney Lansford was not expecting DeCinces to pull the ball. He was way off the bag. This ball was hit about a yard fair, and Carney has no chance at all because he's just so far into that hole. Of course, that's where a fielder should normally play because more balls will be hit into the hole than down the line.
DeCinces walking around at second base as if he may have twisted something. Of course, with that bad back, that could have been an aggravation of the condition that's been bothering DeCinces all season long. Billy Smith is the batter.
He's had a bad back, Dick. I don't know if he hurt his back or what on this. The turf is soft. We've said that before. Maybe rounding first, he just stepped in an awkward way, or the ground gave way underneath him.
Favoring his left leg or ankle.
It seems awfully late in the season for somebody to be pulling a hamstring. Usually that happens early.
He says he's okay.
He says, I'll cut it out, Skip. I'll play for you.
And grabbing at the back of his left knee as he went into second base.
Well, at least it's not his back. That's what's really been hurting him. He missed 6 weeks this year in the middle of the season with a bad back. And to have a recurrence of that, I think, would be more serious than whatever has happened here.
DeCinces' third hit of the series, a one-out double. Now the Orioles, with a 2-0 lead, have a chance for more. Billy Smith fouled out to the catcher Downing his first time up. Turns around batting right-handed. He hit .320 right-handed, so that's been his better side. Out of play.
Dick, the Angels are going to have to be very careful if they're going to pull out some heroics and win this ball game. They've got to stay close to Baltimore. You let them get too far ahead, you're asking for trouble. They made a miraculous comeback in the second game, although they didn't quite catch up. But you can't keep doing that.
1 strike. DeCinces at second base, 1 out. Talking with his third base coach Cal Ripken from long distance, saying, "You watch the shortstop for me." High fly, fairly well left center. Miller with the glasses down. DeCinces tagging, and he holds. Good throw.
I really like the way that Miller hangs on the ball and gets himself in perfect position, and then he comes and gets it, and he throws strikes. He's right on his target all day.
Doesn't have a strong arm, but he's accurate, and he uses his body.
Tremendous position. Look at him. There he is.
He does not have a strong arm, but he gets behind the ball so that he's moving into his throw in the same direction as he's going to throw the ball. That's so important. You can probably add 30, 40, 50 feet to your throw doing that.
Miller won his first Golden Glove, or Gold Glove, last year. Dempsey, tough little out. Singled and scored in the third. He's the man who started the Baltimore go run when they scored 2 runs. And playing in front of his family, went to Crespi Carmelite High School in the San Fernando Valley. He's got a lot of folks cheering for him here at the Big 8 today. 1-1. Dave LaRoche in relief of starter Chris Knapp, who went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 runs and 5 hits. Another base hit. Dempsey sends one where DeCinces did, and the Orioles lead 3-0 on doubles by DeCinces and Dempsey.
That was an absolute instant replay of the ball. DeCinces hit both in the exact same spot, hit about just as hard. Lansford also in the same spot, about a yard fair right down the line, and no possible play at all for Lansford.
Now, when a third baseman's playing that far off the line, he's expecting hard stuff, and LaRoche is either they're really reading his fastball, or he's throwing something that's allowing them to get out in front, Sparky.
Well, Dick, what he's doing anytime he's playing that far off, they've went over the reports that they're going to pitch him away, and what he's done, he's been pitching him away, and then he gets him 2 strikes and he gets the ball inside.
Runner at second, 2 out to Bunbury. High, ball 1. And right-hander John Montague is up in the Angel bullpen. He is a short reliever. No, that's Dave Frost again. 37 is Frost. Ball 2. In a season that had so many highs for the California Angels, LaRoche was one of the disappointments. A solid reliever all of his career, but having a off season this year, a year in which Jim Fregosi needed pitching help, and he was LaRoche, the only left-hander he had in the pen, and he's had trouble like this most of the time. 2-1. Baltimore 3, the Angels nothing, 2 outs, and Dempsey 2 for 2 stands at second base. Ball 3. On deck, the right-handed hitter Garcia. So 2 on, 2 out as LaRoche loses Bunbury, and Fregosi jumps out of the dugout on his way to the mound.
Dick, Sparky brought up an excellent point when he mentioned that the pitching and the defense has to coordinate. And Carney Lansford would not be playing that far off the line if they hadn't gone over the whole program before the game. And he's either supposed to be pitching these guys outside or throwing fastballs that they are not supposed to be pulling. But something's wrong out there in coordinating the pitching with the defense.
Yeah, Wes, because there's no way the third base is going to be that far off the line, and then both balls that were hit were dead inside. Well, they have went over in their meeting that they're going to pitch DeCinces and Dempsey away. There's no other reason that the third base is going to be that far off the line.
Dave Frost, who relieved 3 times this year, 33 games he started, comes in from the bullpen. Breaking the action, fourth inning, Anaheim Stadium, 2 out, 2 on. The Orioles lead 3-0.
If a man's lapel begins to rebel and the pockets in his pants become losers, then he needs clothes from Levi's Sportswear. Levi's slacks, blazers, and suits hold their great looks because they're sewn to the tough standards that made the Levi's name famous for durability. Men's clothes from Levi's Sportswear, where quality never goes out of style.
How fast can you send a letter coast to coast? Watch. New York, Chicago, the Mississippi River. This is how fast with the new IBM 6670 information distributor. Los Angeles, delivered in 15 seconds, printed by a laser, typewriter quality, cost about 8 cents. The IBM 6670.
Major League Baseball presents Big League Tips.
The next time you go to a ball game, go early and watch the players run. Most of them will be pitchers running sprints in the outfield. The reason pitchers run so much is to strengthen their legs, because legs get tired more often than arms. When a pitcher's legs begin to tire, he starts releasing the ball too soon, and his pitches come in high. Strong legs are a must for a major league pitcher. Baseball fever. Catch it.
Preceding announcement furnished by Major League Baseball. You look at the beautiful green of Anaheim Stadium. Joe Verdi's grounds crew doing a great job, as did Pat Santarone, who working under much more difficult conditions with rain and football back at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. That's a pretty sight. That's why they called it the park. And I guess in the old days, in the middle of the cities, major league cities, it was a respite from the hubbub of urban life to come out to a beautiful yard, a beautiful park, and watch a baseball game. Dave Frost, rarely in relief this year. The Angels' top record as a starter. Threw well in Baltimore, but as he put it, just didn't get the ball where I wanted it. 2 on, 2 out, a run home. It's 3-0 Baltimore. Garcia credited with a bunt single and a key play in the 2-run third inning. Dempsey at second, Bumbry at first. That's a perfect spot for that crossfire, right on the outside corner. The ball tailing back in to bite the corner. The biggest Angel, 235 pounds, 6'6", and the crowd comes to life. They want Frost to get the Angels out of this inning. 1-2. Frost was 2-1 against Baltimore this year. Finished very well. He was 9-5 and a 2.87 ERA after the All-Star game. Ball in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Orioles at second and first. Dempsey and Bumbry. Kiko Garcia trying to keep the inning alive. 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Hit sharply to Grich. And the inning is over. The Orioles, a run on a pair of doubles, leave 2. We go to the last of the fourth inning in Anaheim. The Orioles have a 3-0 lead.
The Horizon is it's a car of today. It's a car of tomorrow. It's really a leader.
The Horizon is one of the best engineered small car on the market.
It sounds like those Chrysler engineers are bragging, but the fact is, Horizon has more passenger room than Pinto or Chevette, about twice as much cargo space, good gas mileage, proven front-wheel drive. That's not bragging. That's just how it is.
I'm not asking you to buy any car on faith. I'm asking you to compare.
You
can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean. That's why now we say the age of 7-Up is here, 'cause we love that crisp, refreshing taste, so light and crystal clear. Move it up, look it up, look it up. America is turning 7-Up, reaching up, feeling up, feeling up. America is turning 7-Up.
Many things go into the making of an Olympic champion. It takes natural talent, hours and hours of practice, and a burning desire to be the best. But there's one other element that can't be overlooked: money. The cost of preparing a team for the Olympics is staggering, and we need your help, because America doesn't send athletes to the Olympics. Americans do. Send your contribution to U.S. Olympic Committee, Box 1980P, Cathedral Station, Boston. For $10 or more, you'll receive this Olympic stick pin. This message sponsored by the U.S. Olympic Committee and NBC.
You look at the protective face guard on the helmet of Gary Renicky after he suffered the injury and hit in the face with a pitch ball back during spring training. And a reminder that football is here with us again tomorrow. National Football League action. A battle for first place in Cleveland between the Steelers and the Browns. The Jets, with their big upset win in Miami last week, are at Baltimore. Colts hungry for a victory. And San Diego and Denver. Tough battle in the West. And at 4:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 in the West, Seattle at San Francisco. All tomorrow on NBC. And should there be a fifth game of this American League Championship Series, that will be at 5 o'clock Western Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But right now, the Orioles have a design on ending it in 4. They lead it 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Slice down the right field line and foul. Murray gives it a look. It's 1-1. Lansford, Ford, and Baylor heavy guns for the Angels against the classy left-hander Scott McGregor. Right side, and Murray right there to gobble it up, and he just does beat Lansford at first base. McGregor was slow covering. Murray was going to flip to him and then said, uh-oh, Lansford's going to beat the pitcher.
Sparky's talked about what a good first baseman Murray is. Look where he's playing, way off the bag. A lot of times this ball would go through. It's hit right into the hole. Now the indecision as to whether to throw or run himself makes it a very close play. They're lucky they didn't collide. He was a long way from the bag.
They could have collided here. Lansford realized he was going to be out. He kind of held up there just a second. He protected Murray.
One out as Eddie Murray gets Lansford unassisted. Danny Ford, the batter. Ball 1. Ford flied to right his first time up. The Angels have only one hit. That by Rick Miller, a single to center. We're in the 4th inning, 1 out. Way out in front, 1-1. Baltimore 3 runs on 7 hits. The Angels no runs, 1 hit. Ford still bothered by that muscle pull in the ribs. Crowd trying to get the Angels alive. 1-2, and Ford did not have a good swing.
McGregor's just showing that he's a quality pitcher, Dick. He's been mixing those pitches up, changing speeds, moving the ball around, keeping everything down. We've really learned a lesson in pitching in this series, as I think the control pitchers like Tanan and McGregor have fared much better than the power pitchers.
Fly ball to right, routine to Singleton. At this time of the day, right field is not a problem. As the sun sets, it shifts. And in the late afternoon, right field can really be tough. But at the moment, Singleton doesn't have to stare into the sun. McGregor against Don Baylor. Baylor popped up his first trip. McGregor, Rick Dempsey, Rudy May, Tippy Martinez, Dave Pagan all came from the Yankees in a big trade. We see McGregor. He can unleash a pretty good fastball, too. He had that by Baylor.
Especially when you compare the speed and the velocity of his fastball to that slow curve or changeup. He's probably got a difference there of about 20 miles per hour, which can really make it hard for the hitter to get his timing.
1-2.
The thing I like is the first time Baylor was up, they threw him 2 changeups, and Dempsey and McGregor, they don't forget what they threw him that first time up. They had Baylor looking for that off speed. Now they powered him 3 straight pitches.
1-2 to Don Baylor. Bases empty, 2 out in the last of the 4th inning. He got him on fastballs 3 in a row, and not many pitchers do that to Don Baylor. That's the first strikeout for Scott McGregor, who leaves the field at the end of 4 innings with his team in front. Baltimore 3, California nothing.
20,000 tons comes plowing into San Francisco Harbor. How do you keep it off a collision course? With a harbor traffic control system from Eaton.
And I recommend you proceed south of Alcatraz inbound. Traffic out.
Roger, south of Alcatraz. In harbors from Alaska to Suez and San Francisco, Eaton helps to bring the big ships home. Developing new technology to meet changing needs worldwide. That's how Eaton profits from change.
Here's to good friends.
The key's supposed to be under the steps.
I got
it. Hey, here's a note. Gentlemen, my country estate is at your disposal. There might even be a little something in the refrigerator. Regards, Hank.
Let it be low and brown.
Low and brown. Oh, when you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown.
Here's to Hank. Wherever he is.
Low and brown.
When hell was in session, the true story of the POW the North Vietnamese couldn't break. For 7 years, he fought to stay alive while his wife fought to set him free. He tricked his captors and blinked an agonized message in code to the world.
What have they done to him?
Hal Holbrook and Eva Marie Saint in a gripping world premiere Monday after Little House.
That certainly was the case last night as the fans were on cloud 9, the Angel fans. But Scott McGregor's one-hit pitching through 4 innings has put a damper on some of the enthusiasm. The Orioles 3, the Angels nothing. Dave Frost will face Ken Singleton, Eddie Murray, and Gary Renicky in the Oriole 5th inning. Singleton, a single and a sacrifice fly. And also with slugging percentage, his on-base percentage lifetime is 400 plus, and it was again this year. With his hits and walks, he's down there more than 4 out of 10 times. He's had some good rips in this game.
He's a good ball player. Anytime you get somebody as big and strong as he is, who can swing the bat and switch hit, run a little bit. He's just a good all-around ball player, Dick. And as you mentioned, he gets about 100 walks every year, so he's on base a lot. He's led the Orioles in hitting for 4 years in a row. This year he tied with Eddie Murray at 295. That's pretty good work.
That's the fork ball that Dave Frost will throw. 1-1. Misses, 2 balls and a strike.
Kenny went through a lot of problems too this past winter when he hurt his arm and had surgery back in '77, and he played all of 1978 in pain. He only had 1 outfield assist because of that bad arm, but he has really bounced back well this year.
Ground ball up the middle, base hit at fast infield. Now Singleton's 2 for 2. First hit off Frost. Eddie Murray, RBI single in 2 at-bats. Murray with 5 RBIs to lead his ball club in this series.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Singleton go sometime in the first couple pitches because they just put Carew behind him at first base.
Carew is not holding him on. Outfield almost straight away in all fields for Murray. Ball 1.
I think Weaver's very smart, too, Dick, to have Singleton and Murray, the two switch hitters, hitting 3 and 4 in the lineup. You can really start to feel the impact of these two players as this series goes along.
They seem to be up about 8 times a game.
That's right.
16 total. 1-1.
Singleton just took a look over at the bench, a quick glance, whether can I go or can I. He don't even look over there for a sign. He wants to see right from the bench.
I would think he'd stay there with the left-handed hitter up, wouldn't you?
Well, but if he can get a great jump, he can make it easy.
Out of play. 1-2 the count to Murray. I'm sure that Chuck Tanner, his fine Pittsburgh Pirate team, watching our telecast today, and again, congratulations to the Buccaneers as they await their travel plans. Do they go to Baltimore or do they come west to California for the World Series? Tuesday night at the American League Park, it all begins.
Pittsburgh had a good club at the start of the season, but when they made the 2 trades for Tim Foley and Billy Madlock, it just solidified the infield and made them an outstanding team.
Ball 2. Count levels off at 2-2 to Eddie Murray. Leadoff man Singleton at first base. Left field, Baylor. 1 out, back to first Singleton. And Gary Renicky is the batter.
Gary Renicky.
Now with a right-handed hitter up, Carew moves to the bag and will hold Singleton close. Renicky with a total of 25 homers for the year. Most he ever hit in a minor league season was 14. Breaking ball fouled off catcher Brian Downing.
Those catchers really have to play in pain, don't they? And so often they try not to show it. They'll take a hard shot and just grimace behind that mask, but they won't let anyone else see it. But they play in a lot of pain, as do almost all ball players. It's just practically impossible to play 162 games over 6 months without at one time or another being hurt.
Inside, 1-1.
You have to yell from the bench at those catchers when they get hit and yell, just rub in the dirt or spit some tobacco on it. Let's go.
They're not allowed the luxury of enjoying any pain.
I saw Roseboro take a shot in a game that split his finger down to the first joint. He walked off the field with blood pouring out of that thing. Just walked off casually.
Pulled foul, and there again, Lansford well off the line and inside, and that ball aimed in that same Baltimore alley. 2 base hits.
Sometimes what will happen, Dick, the shortstop will tip off the third baseman as to where the location is. It'll help him with his positioning and fielding.
We're in the 5th inning. Baltimore leads 3-0. 1 out. The Orioles have Singleton at first base. Out of play. Well, the Pirates certainly know this man, Singleton, from his days in the National League. Came up with the Mets, played with Montreal. It's 2-2 to Renicky. On deck, Pat Kelly. But wouldn't you think it would take some real concentration to not be thinking about that base bar in front of your... Ross thought he had a strikeout. It's 3-2 to Renicky.
Because of the fact that he was hit earlier in the year? Dick, it's something that you just have to put in the back of your mind if you want to continue to play baseball. Once you get hit, if you do keep thinking about it, you'll never be a good hitter again. You absolutely have to overcome that fear. At least he's got the protective device on there now. That'll help him somewhat.
Runner goes, and it's a line drive to Lansford, and it's a double play. Oh, did Renicky hit that hard? We're at the halfway mark in this one at Anaheim Stadium. 4.5 innings in the book. Baltimore 3, the Angels nothing.
From the people who brought you the workmate comes the incredible bench top. You can put it on a table or clamp it to a chair or use it on the roof or almost anywhere. It goes up in the attic or the basement down below. There's almost no place the bench top won't go. Black & Decker's bench top workmate, portable work center and vats. It turns the whole world into a workshop.
You play the Gillette World Series baseball game. You can win $10,000.
That ball is going.
And a brand new Chrysler. Win a new Dodge Omni.
Here's the throw.
Win cars, cash, and save over $10 on Gillette products. See magazines for cash savings and details. Then go to Gillette displays and stores and see if you've won.
What a ball game!
The World Series baseball game from Gillette.
The computer technology that put Voyager in space puts Voyager on the road. The Voyager radial tire from Kelly Springfield. Computer-designed tread for all-season traction. Computer-designed shape that reduces stress. Aramid construction for a smooth ride. The Kelly Voyager radial. We put space technology on the road. Kelly Springfield. We're out to change America's tires.
The fifth inning, the crowd on its feet again in Anaheim. The baby says, I'll save my crime for later. But listen to this crowd as they try again to spur the Angels. Baltimore 3, California nothing. They're on their feet. And Scott McGregor may be the perfect pitcher to work in this situation because he doesn't hurt himself. He won't walk anyone. Lined up left field. Downing responds with the Angels' second hit, and it'll get louder.
I'll tell you, Dick, California is a long, long way from out of this ball game. Baltimore had 3 shots in 3 different innings to put them away. They hit the 2 double plays. They didn't do it. And I'm telling you right now, California is going to give them a run in this ball game.
Now the chanting, yes, we can. Yes, we can. And Bobby Grich comes up. He grounded out his first time up. 43,199. Same crowd as yesterday. Lots of seats available. No one's sitting in them. Got a pitch that he likes to go to right field with.
Rich had a super cut, Dick. He had an excellent cut at that ball. That's one of the first pitches that McGregor's really gotten up.
25-year-old left-hander Scott McGregor. Going out, leads 3-0. Ball, 1-1. Foul, and it's 1-2, and that's a measure of a pitcher with good stuff when you get that kind of foul ball strike.
This must be an interesting situation for McGregor, who grew up in the Los Angeles area and undoubtedly was a fan of the Southern California clubs, and here he is pitching just 30 or 40 miles from where he grew up against such a hostile crowd.
2-2.
The thing I like about both crowds in Baltimore and in Anaheim, Dick, is the fact that they have never gotten rude or nasty. It's all been
Positive.
great fun and positive and cheering for their home team.
That's right. And Baltimore the same. They had respect for the opposition, but totally positive for their own. Hit deep to right. And foul. And that's where Gritchell hit some of his shots. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Going out. Last of the 5th inning, and this is the kind of noise, in case you weren't with us last night, that we experienced in the 9th inning, and it must have been 15 minutes at least of constant noise. Veteran reporters that have covered football, basketball, baseball for years and years, and they've never heard anything like it. Base hit!
Determine what comes first. The crowd excitement, and then the hitters start to hit, or the hitters are ready to hit, and the crowd anticipates it. But it seems that every time this crowd starts to get pumped up, the Angels start to hit.
The Orioles, for the first time, have someone warming up in the bullpen. Sammy Stewart, curveballing right-hander. Merv Retman, the tying run at the plate in the 5th inning. The Angels, for the first time, have back-to-back base hits in an inning. Good changeup.
Merv did something there, though, I was really glad to see. He went up there, 2 men on, nobody out, and he didn't just jump at that first ball. Most guys just jump at that changeup in a double play.
Downing at second, Rich at first with sharp singles to left. High, 1-1.
He's just starting to get his pitches up a little bit, Dick. McGregor's going to have to be careful of that. He's a low ball pitcher.
Yes, we can. Here's the chant. McGregor trying to put a stop to that thinking. Good sinking fastball, and it's 1-2 to Retman. The signs that read "Yes, we can" all year became "Yes, we will" as the Angels finally clinched their first divisional title a week and a half before the season ended. McGregor ahead 1-2 on this pitch. Change up 2-2. Going out. We've got a long way to go. I don't know how many of these people are going to last. It's only the 5th inning for them, and they're acting the way they did in the 9th last night. 2-2. Ball 3. Al Clark indicating that Retman did not go around. Of course, on the replays, they always go around.
Well, let's have a look at it. Ball's a little high, and it's awful close, just like almost every other one we look at.
I think Sparky hit it. It's intent. Full count. Full count. 3-2 to Retman. Ball 4. The bases are loaded. Ray Miller, the pitching coach, and here's a wise move by Earl Weaver. The crowd is starting to turn this game around again, and at least Miller's presence will give the crowd a chance to take a breather, and at the same time go out and talk with McGregor, who had Retman in the hole 0-2, and then a man who rarely walks anyone loses Retman. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. From baseball-mad Anaheim Stadium, Dick Enberg, Wes Parker, Sparky Anderson, we're pleased you've joined us again. Game 4 of this American League Championship. their first threat. Bases loaded, no one out to Rick Miller. Fly ball, left field. All the runners are tagging. Oh, Downing does not come in. Everyone holds as Bobby Knopp holds his runner at third, and perhaps wisely so, as that Renicky has a strong arm for a left fielder. One away.
Bobby made absolutely the right decision there. He's only got one out and still the bases loaded. He could not afford to have that inning end with the second out being there. They're down 3 runs. They just can't make a mistake like that. Bobby did a great job.
What he did, Sparky, started the runner to see where the throw was going to go. When he saw it coming toward the plate, he just held him up. Had the throw gone to second or third base, he would have let him go.
Jimmy Anderson, number 9 hitter, grounded into a double play his last time up. Bases loaded, 1 out. Grounded. Oh, what a play by DeCinces! A double play! Oh, my! The play defensively of this series has just been made by Doug DeCinces.
What a play, Dick, by Doug DeCinces. It looked like he had hurt his leg on his last hit, the top half of this inning. He saves at least 2 runs, possibly 3 with the rally still going as he makes a good throw over there to Eddie Murray.
Did you see Bobby Knopp, the coach? He's pointing fair ball right away in the other picture because he knew that ball was down the line for a double.
So DeCinces, and the instincts of DeCinces, you saw him make that backhanded grab. He was fishing for the bag with his foot, tagged it while prone on the ground, and completes a 5-3 inning-ending play. Baltimore 3-0.
A 6-hour select division.
Ah, the new video cassette recorder from RCA.
Yeah.
Go on, buy one.
Better wait till the price comes down.
Live a little.
Penny saved.
Don't wait.
Rebate. Huh?
What? The RCA Select Division don't wait rebate. RCA will send you $100 if you buy now.
$100 rebate?
Uh-huh.
Well, what are you waiting for?
The RCA Select Division don't wait rebate. If there's ever a time to buy one, it's now.
What a rebate. What a deal.
What a steal.
What's up, Dad?
Pay attention, kids. See if this guy knows how to cut wood.
He's going to have to work to start that saw. Yeah.
No, he won't. That's a McCulloch 320 with electronic ignition.
Boy, it sure starts easy.
It's also got Auto Sharp. Sharpens itself with the press of a button.
I wish I had that.
There's more. It's got a chain brake handguard for safety.
That's a lot of saw. Look at him cut. Hey, Dad, what do you think of the McCulloch 320?
I think we're in trouble.
McCulloch PowerMac 320. Sawing is believing.
Antifreeze. You never think about it, or how it has to protect somebody beside you, or what could happen without antifreeze. Stranded, and no help for miles. Don't trust your luck. Don't trust the weather. Take out old, weak antifreeze now, and put your trust in Prestone, too. More people trust Prestone than all other brands combined.
We made it.
More people trust Prestone, and when you flush your cooling system, trust Prestone Super Flush.
On Sports World, it was Ali's title. Now it's up for grabs as South African heavyweight Jerry Coetzee battles Big John Tate for the WBA crown, October 20th.
Here's a play by Doug DeCinces that may have bailed the Orioles out.
I can't think of any reason for Doug to have been playing that close to the line unless he knew ahead of time that the pitcher was going to either throw off-speed pitches or work the batter inside. Now, that's the exact opposite of what we saw the Angels doing, but that is just an incredible play and well thought out, Dick. That's the play of the series. You just can't refute that.
The body presence of DeCinces, even though he had his chin in the dirt, still knowing where the bag was and hitting it with his leg and popping up and completing a 5-3 double play. The Angels, bases loaded, no one out, and failed to score. Pitching and defense again for the Baltimore Orioles. Now in the 6th inning, Baltimore still with a 3-0 lead. What's that do to the Angels? They don't even get one run. Even one might have made a difference, Sparky.
It really hurts, Dick, but the way they've been going this whole series, everything has been hurting, and they're still going to be in this ball game.
Kelly hits it to left field and deep. Baylor back. Kelly, a long drive to the opposite field. That brings up Doug DeCinces. Well, DeCinces taking over for Brooks Robinson. Obviously, there's been comparisons to the great ex-Oriole. Well, that was a Robinson-type play.
It was definitely a honor to take place in Brooks Robinson, but it had its drawbacks. You know, there was a lot of pressure. People expected me to do things better, or no matter what I did, I could not compare to what Brooks did in the past. And the biggest thing was trying not to be Brooks Robinson, just be myself and establish my own identity. The people, naturally wanted to see Brooks, and so I was the kind of the villain, and I had to go through that, and it was difficult.
Plays like that had even Brooks Robinson standing and cheering up in the Baltimore television booth. Be your own man, though. The message is there, and it's solid advice for anyone. Or should we say, be your own person? I guess that would be better.
You have to nowadays, Dick.
2 strikes to count on DeCinces, 1 out in the 6th inning. Well, the series has had everything but a great defensive play until that one made by DeCinces. Now we really have received the whole package. These 2 clubs have given their fans and millions of you around the nation a bit of everything. Baseball at its best here in early October. Anderson bobbles, but recovers. 2 away.
Well, when you bobble a ball like that, you make that one agonizing stab right there to get the ball. If he doesn't get it right at that time, he'll never get the runner.
Oh, I didn't realize how tough that was. That ball was really behind him.
He almost overran it. That infield's been so slick, it looked like perhaps it was a little bit slower for some reason that time.
2 out. And Billy Smith over to the hitter. Back hitting from the left side, takes a strike.
That's like that old Stu Miller pitch, the junk ball pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. He just floats that ball up there.
Right now, Frost just wants to hold him there. If he can shut him out the rest of the way, they feel they got a shot.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gave up a hit to Singleton leading off the 5th, but wiggled off the hook when Renicky ripped a line drive double play to 3rd. Tough play and a long run for Baylor and Anderson. Baylor in fair territory. 1, 2, 3. The Orioles retired in order for the first time this game. Middle of the 6th inning. The Angels will bring up Rod Carew, Carney Lansford, and Dan Ford.
Ram power. Dodge gives you Ram power.
Now Dodge fans go beyond tough. They're Ram tough. Galvanized steel for critical area rust protection. More than Ford or Chevy. And with optional 3-speed automatic, the best V8 mileage ratings. More than Ford or Chevy. Dodge fans. Engineered by Chrysler to go beyond tough.
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
Dodge announces the truck and van rebate countdown. Get a full-size pickup, a Dodge van, or a Ram Charger, and a $400 check to go with it. But hurry, October 18th is the last day, and the countdown is on. Chrysler has given dealers the biggest cash incentives in Chrysler's history. Big discounts they can pass on to you. But hurry, the countdown is on. Get a great deal and a $400 check. October 18th, the very last day.
Ponch and John are hot on the dangerous trail of a gang of gas bandits. Next, can BJ help Snow White and the 7 Lady Truckers deliver a fortune in used currency tonight?
On Primetime Sunday, the Pope in America. A look at his historic trip and some of the people whose lives he touched. Sunday on NBC.
Bottom of the 6th inning in Anaheim. The California Angels trail the Baltimore Orioles 3-0. Wes Parker, Sparky Anderson. I'm Dick Enberg, and a lot of us have run into fans who said, "Hey, you guys really as excited about this series as you seem?" Yes, we are.
Hey, we love baseball.
It has been a delight to share it with you. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Rod Carew leads it off for the California Angels. So on that picture, Jack Rote, our statistician, Carl McCarthy, helping us in the booth.
How can you not get excited about a series like this? If you love baseball, you've just got to.
Carew takes a big bender for a strike. Rod has hit the ball hard today, but both times to the shortstop. A line drive and a sharp one-hopper. 1-1. Now the Angels bring up the top of the order. Carew trying to start something as he did last night in the ninth inning when he doubled with one out. Grounded weakly, foul.
That's the kind of swing that'll hurt Rod the most. He's got that bad hand, the thumb that he injured when he tried to tag out a runner at first base, and the runner ran right through his hand and really sprained that thumb. He's still got that hand bandaged up, but when he swings and misses is when it really hurts. As long as he's contacting the ball, he's all right. Of course, with Rod Carew, he usually does contact the ball.
1-2 the count. 2-2. I'm surprised that Carew, such an outstanding bunter, has not tried to bunt for a base hit in this series.
Well, for one thing, Baltimore knows that. They've got Doug DeCinces right down his throat at third base.
Even with 2 strikes on him, DeCinces is inside the bag at third. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit. For the Angels fans, it came one double play too late. Now you realize how important DeCinces' play was at third base. Not only to get a double play, that would have been at least a 2-run double, and then Carew comes right back with a single.
That would have been 4 runs if that sequence had held.
Lansford has grounded out twice. Carew with his 7th hit of the series to lead all hitters. Foul back. Scott McGregor, who had allowed only 1 earned run to this Angel club in 2 starts this year, hasn't given up a run yet.
You know, Dick, I've been in that dugout long enough to know that the way this series went, it's going to go like this for the next 4 innings.
There's a double play ball to Garcia, and a double play. Even though Carew took out Billy Smith, Smith able to throw a strike onto Murray.
Dick, did he hit Billy Smith? Watch this. Look at the guts of Billy Smith. He knows he's going to get ripped, and he hangs in. Watch how Carew hits him. Boy, it's hard to hang in there when you know you're going to take a shot like that. And it's perfectly clean. Carew's just trying to keep this inning alive.
Well, there's a veteran, and he's not holding back any punches. He's doing what he has to do, hoping that he can break up that double play in the truest sense of the term. But Smith hangs in there and turns 2. The Oriole defense has 3 double plays in this game. Dan Ford has flied twice to right. In the last of the 6th inning, bases empty. Popped up. Catcher Rick Dempsey, first baseman Eddie Murray. It's Murray, and the inning is over. Now McGregor gets the double play support and pitches out of trouble in the 6th inning. After 6 in Anaheim, it's Baltimore 3, California nothing. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Wednesday, join the Man Watchers of America as they vote for their sexiest male. Then the centerfolds come to life at the Playmate reunion. Wow, unreal people.
W4, leading you into the 80s with the Motor City's most powerful rock and roll. Detroit's W4, 106 FM.
Plan
now and attending the Home Flower Photo Show at the Pontiac Silverdome. It's going on now through Sunday for 4 big days. See new home improvement ideas, meet the builders, see energy-saving displays, and stroll through the formal gardens. Bring your camera and take pictures of live models in their huge photographic equipment gallery. A wild animal petting zoo for the kids. Mom can win diamonds at Magic Mountain. All this and more at the all-family Home Flower Photo Show going on now at the Silverdome. Discount tickets available at participating Elias Brothers restaurants while supplies last.
Saturday night, Dead. 1 a.m. Saturday night on Channel 4. See All in the Family, weekdays at 5:30 on 4.
Chairman of the board, Gene Autry. His team trails 3-0. Top of the 7th inning in Anaheim. Rick Dempsey, Al Bumbry, Kiko Garcia for the Orioles in the 7th against Dave Frost, the 3rd Angel pitcher. Dempsey, regarded as a fine handler of pitchers, a tough defensive player, but he's contributed with a bat as well. He's got a pair of doubles and a couple of singles and 9 trips in this series. Yes, he went around, says Denkinger. 0-2 the count.
Dick, he's in his 13th professional season, and when you played that much professional baseball, you really know your way around. And he's proven it. He doesn't have great statistics, but you can just see from his performance, he's a fine ball player.
Way outside, 1-2.
I think Baltimore is loaded with clutch ball players, too. You cannot look at the stat sheet to see how good this club is. They play very well under pressure, and they play excellent fundamental baseball.
Orioles lead 3-0. Leadoff hitter Dempsey in the 7th. 1-2 pitch by Frost. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Dick, I think there's something we ought to mention. I don't think you're going to see any better umpired series in this series up to this point. They have just done a tremendous job, all of them.
Don Denkinger, the ball strike umpire for today's Game 4.
I think Sparky's getting ready for the season next year. Boy, he's going to get every close pitch.
Did you take them all out to dinner again last night, those umpires?
I had to do something, Wes, to kind of pass on the message to all the troops out there. But these guys really, whether I was making a few points, but these guys have done a tremendous job.
I've heard you do that before, Sparky. You're one of the best at making those points.
You're terrible, Wes.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Mr. Sincerity. 3-2. Dempsey will be followed by Bumbry and Garcia. Ever met anyone with a more positive attitude than Sparky Anderson, Wes? Ball 4, Frost. A baseball no-no, walks leadoff man. Al Bumbry comes up. He had a lonely moment last night when he dropped Gritch's line drive, but those of you who followed Al Bumbry know that he also has made some sensational plays this year. Here at home at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, watch Bumbry in center field in a game earlier this year. Home run? Look at that play by Bumbry.
He's a good ball player, isn't he, Dick?
They talk about positive thinkers. Here's a guy that feels that way. He just exudes optimism, loves doing what he's doing. Foul back. Bumbry has walked twice today and grounded out. He scored one of the Oriole runs.
Dick, he told me on Monday, he said, Sparky, talk real good about me up there. I said, Al, how can I talk good about you? The way you treated us this year. I said, every time I looked up, you were doing something to hurt us. I said, I'm going to get even with you. Oh, he said, don't do that, Spark. Don't do that.
You know, there are only 3 players, Bumbry being one of them, left from the last Baltimore playoff team. That was 5 years ago in '74. Just Bumbry, Belanger, and Palmer. Boy. Turns in a hurry. On the corner, wicked pitch, 1-2.
I think we ought to give one extra guy for Baltimore's club a little credit. Lee May. Lee May has done so much to help the coaching staff and Earl Weaver with the way he's helped these young players. There's no better player to have on your club in that respect than Lee May.
Behind the scenes. Fouled again by Bunbury.
Another thing, Dick, a point you brought up about Bunbury dropping that ball last night is the crowd was yelling so loud that he never could hear the ball contacting the bat. And every outfielder and infielder keys off that sound to know how hard the ball is hit. So that had to bother him with his jump. Brian Downing, who was on first base, said the same thing. He didn't know whether to go to second or not because he couldn't hear the sound of the ball hitting the bat.
Yeah, Bunbury hesitated initially. Had he made the normal break hearing the ball, he'd have caught that chest high on his way to the dugout. But he hesitated, didn't know how hard the ball was hit. By the time he came in, it was a little tougher play. And even then, he couldn't believe it flopped out of his glove. 1-2. Popped up. That's a tough play for Downing, and Carew, knowing that, comes in to help him out. One away.
Anything hit straight up over the catcher's head, either the first or third baseman should come in and help him with that play. A pop foul will always curve back towards the pitcher's mound anyway. So a ball straight up over the catcher's head, you know, is going to go further out. It's a very, very difficult play for a catcher, that ball right up over his head. And yet, now you can see he's trying to get back out on the field, and Carew calls him off. Look how easy a play it is for the first baseman moving into that catch.
There are a lot of nice words to hear in life, and sometimes for a catcher it's, I got it from somebody else. That was the case for Downing as Carew bailed him out.
But I tell you, when Willie McCovey or Stargell hit one, nobody wants them. You should see it. They're all looking at each other. They get up there so high that nobody wants any part of it.
You wonder if they will come down. Garcia, 1 for 3, that key bunt single back in the 2-run Oriole third. Angels have right-hander throwing the bullpen. Looks to be Montague. It is. 3-0 Baltimore. We're in the 7th inning. 1 out. Dempsey at first base with a walk. Goes 3-0 to Garcia.
He cannot walk Garcia here, Dick. If he walks Garcia, he's getting right into the meat of the things with Singleton and Murray. They could be in deep trouble if he walks him.
3-1. Garcia looking for a hit sign as he checks it out with Cal Ripken. The third base Oriole coach relaying the signs from Weaver. Do you let him swing 3-1?
Myself personally, no, because I got the meat coming up in Singleton and Murray, and I want one big shot at him. I'm going to make him go 3-2.
Weaver green lights him, and it's 3-2. Well, there are not many managers who will do that anymore, Sparky. At 2-0 and 3-1, it used to be, unless you were a big home run hitter, you always look for hit or take. But now almost everyone gets to swing at those pitches.
I'll never forget Bertie Tibbetts, and he always said, little men take, big men hit.
Little men take, big men hit. You looked at a lot of 3-1, 2-0s then, didn't you?
I looked at the first pitch.
Take the first one.
You guys are terrible.
Runner goes, swung on and missed. But stealing second base is Rick Dempsey.
He foul tipped that ball, and Brian Downing had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. Also had an excellent jump.
Russ did a good job battling back from 3-0.
There you see Downey, just a little bit of trouble getting that ball out. Sometimes it sticks in there a little bit further than you'd like it to.
Here comes Fregosi, probably to ask Frost, does he want to pitch to Singleton with a man at second, or does he want to walk Singleton and pitch to Murray with 2 on?
Oh, Dick, you really give a manager a nice selection.
That's being between the proverbial rock and a hard place, isn't it?
Isn't it like high school where you have C, category C, that says none of the above? Isn't there some other alternative here?
Multiple
one
choice.
Other guy you could use here.
Again, the Orioles seem to have, when they need it, their 2 top switch hitters in the middle of that lineup up there swinging. Well, the decision has been made. Fregosi, the only man in uniform wearing the jacket, that started early last year when he came to the ball club in midseason. and he felt that he was a little overweight and wanted the jacket to help him perspire more. And also, you know, those new uniforms are pretty tough to hide anything. And then it caught on, and he said he also feels it helps him now because he's the one man in the dugout with a jacket on, and he's easy to pick up for his coaches in giving the signs.
I'll say one thing, he's a little warm today, though.
It's a warm 80 degrees, and Earl Weaver looks about as cool as we've seen him in the 4 games.
Yes, he does.
Singleton up, and they're going to pitch to him. Fastball misses.
One reason why, Dick, is as long as Baltimore is hitting, the Angels cannot score. Not like football where you could be on offense and suddenly the defense will put some points on the board.
Actually, Singleton is not 2 for 3, but 2 for 2. He did make an out, but that was a sacrifice fly. No time at bat. He's got a couple of singles and that sacrifice fly to left. Out of play. Baltimore got 2 runs in the 3rd inning, and a single by Dempsey. Bumbry walked. Garcia, in trying to bunt him over, hit a high bouncing bunt off home plate that Carew could not field and went for a base hit to load him up. Singleton drove in the 1st run with a sacrifice fly. Murray followed with a solid single to right to make it 2-0. Then in the 4th inning, off reliever Dave LaRoche, doubles by DeCinces and Dempsey made it 3-0. The Angels have had only 1 threatening inning. Ball gets away, and on to 3rd is Dempsey on the wild pitch from Frost. So 2 outs. 2-1 they count to Ken Singleton. The Angels' only threat came in the 5th when Downing and Gritch opened with singles. Rettenman walked to load the bases with no one out. Miller's fly to left, not deep enough to score the run. And then the defensive play of this series. Doug DeCinces with a diving stab of a shot off the bat of Jimmy Anderson that was ticketed for 2 bases and maybe 3 runs and turned it into a double play to end the inning. And the Angels still are without a run. Singleton trying to make it 4-0. That's a big run at 3rd for Baltimore. 3-1 now to Singleton.
Just before Singleton got into the batter's box, he walked over and talked to Murray about something. And I just wonder, Wes, was he asking him, did you have him in this position, 2 balls and 1 strike? I have a feeling that he asked him, what did he throw you when he was behind you?
3-1. Dempsey at 3rd, 2 out. Hit hard to left center field. Baylor on the run. Can't get it. It's over the fence for a ground rule double. It's 4-0 Baltimore as Singleton, swinging 3-1, lashes an RBI double.
Dick, the Angels elected not to walk him, and Frost made the mistake of getting the ball out over the plate to Singleton. And he's having a hot day. He just drilled that ball to left center field for an RBI. He's a strong man, and you've got to try to keep that ball in tight on him.
After starting the series slowly, Singleton 1 for 8. Since then, he is 5 for 6. 3 for 3 today. And here's Eddie Murray, an RBI single. They're going to walk him. Walks have hurt the California club today. Bumbry walked in the 3rd. That became a run. And now the leadoff walk to Dempsey in the 7th becomes a run.
Dick, isn't it funny in any sport, no matter what it is, whether it's hockey and Gordie Howe or whether it's football and it's Kelly, the great running back, or Jimmy Brown, no matter what sport we're in, we get down to a big game. The guys that have been doing it all year for you always seem to stand up.
And Ken Singleton and Eddie Murray have done that again today. So 2 on, 2 out. Gary Renicky, the batter. Up twice, he's hit into 2 double plays. One a line drive with Singleton running. Now the Orioles have a chance here with 1 swing to almost put it away. 4-0 in the 7th. Big run. Line drive, base hit. Singleton will score. Murray going to 3rd, and Renicky to 2nd will hold up. It's 5-0 Baltimore as Renicky delivers. Now the Orioles now, for the first time, can feel the excitement that they are very close to a World Series. They have a 5-run lead, and the Angels have only 9 more outs as the dugout looks, and it's Fregosi, they see, walking to the mound, and he'll go to the bullpen, and John Montague. A Frost, after walking Dempsey, got Bumbry and Garcia, but then Singleton 3-1 doubles. Murray walks, and Renicky comes through with a line single. And Dave Frost, an effective pitcher most of his year, leaves, and Montague comes in. So a break in the action. Top of the 7th, 2 out. It's 5-0 Baltimore.
Last week, I went looking for a bargain on a muffler. So I go to a department store auto center. I said, get me out in under an hour. He says, what am I, Houdini? So I go to a muffler shop. I say, does that fit my car? He says, I'll make it fit. So I go to a gas station. I said, how about a guarantee in writing? He says, who's got time to write? Their idea of a bargain was no bargain. Midas gave me a good price and everything I wanted. It pays to Midasize.
We paparazzi were not so popular, but me, I have a secret weapon. The world's smartest camera. Polaroid SX70 sonar. It focuses automatically with the speed of sound.
Veramente abbastanza e tutti finiti.
So I can shoot like so and like so. And then make her a present.
Grazie.
Of her perfect face and perfect focus. Smart. We're brilliant.
Sheriff Lobo promised them the Texas Cowgirls. What they got was something else.
The Panhandle Pussycats.
And Orly has something to cheer about Tuesday on NBC. Wednesday, join the Man Watchers of America as they vote for their sexiest male. Then the centerfolds come to life at the Playmate reunion. Wow, unreal people.
The top pitching team in the American League, the Baltimore Orioles, 5. And the top hitting team in the major leagues, run-scoring team, the California Angels, nothing. It's pitching against, and we talked about that the very first game, gentlemen. It's a classic confrontation between great pitching and great hitting. And so often, at least the experts say, hey, pitching wins. And Baltimore has shown that. And they're going to face a tough hitting team in the Pittsburgh Pirates should they win this game and go on to the series. We'll talk about that as that becomes more and more of a reality. But we are in the 7th inning, 2 in for Baltimore. And they threaten to get more with 2 out. They have runners at 1st and 3rd. Pat Kelly, the batter. John Montague gave up that opposite field home run to Lowenstein in the first game. Trying to get the final out of the 7th. Ball 1. Orioles now playing dime store up there on the scoreboard, 5 and 10. The Angels, no runs, 4 hits. Ball 2. And the crowd, at least here in the Oriole inning, has become about as silent as we have witnessed in the 2 games in Anaheim. Hit well to right field, and it's celebration time. Touch 'em all. 3-run homer for Pat Kelly, and the Orioles now lead 8-0.
Saw Pat Kelly point up to the sky there as he came toward home plate saying, you Angels ain't going to stop me. And he's been doing it all year for Baltimore. They have a good, strong ball club. They are showing it today.
I think there's one thing we forget here, what Earl Weaver did way back when they brought in LaRoche. He took out Lowenstein for Reineke, if you remember.
Right.
But he allowed Kelly to go ahead. He did not put Lee May in for Pat Kelly.
And now against the right-hander Montague, there's
the reason he did it was he was ahead at the time. He knew that the only people in that bullpen from then on were right-handers. So therefore, he was ahead. He was not going to take Kelly out with nobody on. He just waited.
Watch him hit this ball. It's almost awesome. High fastball tailing away. He swings a lot like Willie Mays Aikens, I think, Dick. He's got that classic home run hitter's cut, and he knows it's gone. Everybody knows it's gone.
Yeah, he went into that Reggie Jackson walk.
You know, but people out there forget that they say, oh, the manager, what's he really do? Well, that's managing. He left that man in for that purpose to come down the road later on.
Yep. High hopper. That's a tough play for Lansford. Deep at third. Not in time. So the Orioles Orioles have hit around in the 7th inning as DeCinces has an infield base hit, his second of the game.
I believe we'll see DeCinces leave this ball game pretty soon. That leg, they can't take any chances, and I look for him to see probably put Dower in at third. You know, he played a lot of third base, especially in college.
The Orioles now, for the first time, Sparky, wouldn't you think that Earl Weaver has the luxury of looking ahead to Pittsburgh Tuesday, and why take any chances?
I would think that you'll be seeing a pinch runner.
Billy Smith, the 9th man to bat in the inning. 8-0 Baltimore. Has come in to give up the home run to Kelly. And the infield hit by DeCinces. Big inning for the Orioles. They've scored 5 times. Nice stop by Downing. 2-1. Just almost feel the excitement along the Chesapeake at this moment. A lot of the lucky ones with those World Series tickets already in hand saying, all right, bring on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Foul ball. 2-2 to Billy Smith.
Baltimore, Dick, reminds me of the type of ball player that you have to see every day to really appreciate. There are certain players who are that way. They aren't spectacular. You won't see them do things in one day that they can do over the course of a season, and I think that is the way Baltimore is. You have to see them over a period of time, and then you start to really appreciate how good they are.
Well, their good pitching keeps you in every game. That's the end of the inning for the Orioles, but a big one it was. The biggest inning of this series. 5 runs on 4 hits and 1 left. And after 6.5, the stretch half of the 7th in Anaheim, it's the Orioles 8, the Angels nothing. Coming up with the Angels, Don Baylor, Brian Downing, and Bobby Grich.
Wait till you see what they did to my car.
With the Cordoba, we went back to the drawing boards. We wanted to get the gas mileage up, but not at the expense of the styling.
Introducing the totally redesigned Chrysler Cordoba. All the luxury you expect is here. But so is gas mileage. You can have high style and good mileage. The new Cordoba proves it. I like what they've done to my car.
In Paris, most people take the train to work. In London, the buses are clean, and there's no graffiti on the Munich trolleys. I'm Mort Krim. I took a News 4 camera crew across the Atlantic to find out how Europe handles the transportation crunch, the energy crisis, and what Detroit could do to beat both. Join me all next week at 6 p.m. for Mass Transit, a better idea.
See Mass Transit, a better idea. 6 p.m. all next week on News 4 Detroit.
Furnished by Major League Baseball. Well, no question, some of the enthusiasm drained from this crowd in Anaheim by the big 5-run 7th inning for the Baltimore Orioles, who now lead at 8-0. And at this point, the Angel Ball Club trying to take small steps before big ones. They'd like to spoil McGregor's bid for a shutout. They don't want to end the season with a bagel against them. Baylor leads it off. Baylor struck out and popped up. McGregor, he lets you hit the ball. He's walked one, he struck out one. Out of play.
It's a shame, as Wes said before the show, that they're going with their fourth-line pitcher. It's a shame a guy like McGregor's called your fourth liner.
Well, Sammy Stewart, you figure Stone might have pitched tomorrow, if not Palmer. Sammy Stewart's regarded as their number 6 starter, and everyone in the league lusts for him. On the corner, 1-2, and this man, Scott McGregor, has pitched some game. But no question about the big play that made by his third baseman, DeCinces. Foul back by Baylor.
Sparky, their pitching has been incredible because it's only the 4th game, and we've seen just 5 Baltimore pitchers in 4 games.
Oh, they're so deep, it's unbelievable.
I mean, they've got guys out there who are as good as the ones that we've seen they haven't even had to use.
He went around, and Baylor strikes out the second time. Couldn't stop his swing. Brings up Brian Downing, who is 1 for 2. Center field. Bunbury back. Whoa, he had a little trouble and catches it at the edge of the path for the second out. Oh, look at Alce. That is tough up there. Had it all away.
Had it all away.
They're starting to walk with a little lighter step. The men in the grays, the Orioles. Bobby Grich grounded to short, single to left. Series. Lowenstein one swing to win it. The Angels coming back from 9-1, making it 9-8, had the bases loaded when the game ended. Game 2, coming from behind last night. And the one play today, shot by Smith, or shot by Anderson, and the play by DeCinces. You play that old game of if. If the Angels had come out of that inning with a few runs, we might have seen Nolan Ryan in there instead of Montague and Frost in that top half of this inning. Sharply to Garcia, and McGregor coasts through an easy 1-2-3 7th inning, and it's appearing to be more and more academic. After 7, Baltimore 8, the Angels nothing.
You dance on a river of wood, and you never forget that the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing. And when you've coaxed enough logs into place to build a good-sized town, you can finally head for River's End and Miller Time. Miller Time. Time for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life. America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Sunday.
Golden eggs?
Don't miss the hilarious conclusion of Disney's $1 Million Duck. Then, collision imminent. TV premiere, Gray Lady Down, the worst nuclear submarine disaster in history. 1,400 feet down, Charlton Heston and David Carradine try the impossible. Gray Lady Down, right after $1 Million Duck, Sunday.
Well, the baseball year on NBC, just 6 outs away from coming to an end, but we're right in the thick of another great National Football League season. And here are the games you'll see tomorrow. Battle for first place in the AFC Central. Steelers and the Browns at 3:30 will be the featured game Eastern time, 12:30 in the West. The Jets with a win at Baltimore, they're right back in at 3-3, and the Colts hungry for a win. The Chargers, an outstanding team, will meet a Denver club in the Mile High Stadium, and Denver trying to rebound from a loss to Oakland. It's Seattle at San Francisco at 4:30 Eastern time. Rick Dempsey fouls it back. Dempsey led off that 5-run 7th inning. Wes Parker has gone toward the Baltimore Oriole clubhouse, and we want to stay with you. Part of the joy of these experiences is that celebration of a championship. And he'll be talking to the Baltimore Oriole pennant-winning club. If it stays as it is, 8-0 Orioles. Hit well to center. Very high, and Miller locates it for the first out. That's the first time they've gotten Dempsey today. He was 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and an RBI.
You know, Dick, I was having breakfast this morning, and Rick Dempsey walked by, and he said, well, Spark, he said, we're going home today. He said, this thing's over today. And if you watch the poise which Baltimore has shown, you have to admit that they have just shown tremendous poise throughout the series.
Al Bumbry, 2 walks, 2 outs, 0 for 2. First pitch is in there. Well, let's look ahead. You know that Pirate Ball Club. When you were with the Reds, you played most of those guys many a time. You've had a chance to see the Orioles not only in this series, but as a skipper of the Detroit Tigers. What can we look for?
Well, they're not one bit scared. You can bet on that. That Pittsburgh club believes in themselves so strongly, and Chuck Tanner's an outstanding manager, Dick. The guy on first base, Willie Stargell, no matter what they say, he's the leader of that ball club. He's a great individual as a person on and off the field. The guy in right field is just unbelievable. He, to me, is the greatest baseball player right now in the game for doing everything. And I just know that the Pittsburgh ball club, they're just anxious to play in this thing. They're ready for it.
Montague uses his bare hand to knock down that comebacker and throw out Bumbry. Good play by the pitcher.
The one thing Pittsburgh was hoping for is they're hoping for a 5th game here. For one reason, that means that Ryan and Palmer would have to hook up tomorrow. Either one of those pitchers would be able to go before the 3rd game in the series. Pittsburgh does not want to see Baltimore in this thing today.
Because then they've got Palmer well rested to open at home on Tuesday, and they got everything right in rotation for them. And according to those who have followed both clubs, they rate this Baltimore Oriole pitching staff ahead of Pittsburgh's, and they're all going to be ready.
They'll all be right in line with Flanagan, Fowler, and Palmer, and he can do one of 2 things. He can either go with Martinez in the 3rd game or McGregor. He'll be able to go with McGregor in the 3rd game. And Pittsburgh, of course, with Moreno, Stargell, and Parker, big left-handed power.
Did you like to save your left-handers for the Bucks, or?
You just about have to, Dick, because you've got Ott, you've got Milner, you've got Parker, Stargell, and Moreno. Although Pittsburgh can do one thing. They can put that Bill Robinson in left field, and believe me, he can swing the bat. So Pittsburgh has a great bench. They have a super baseball team, but also so does Baltimore.
Garcia bunt single today, and one hopper to Anderson. And the inning is over. Montague retires the side in order. Angels come up in the bottom of the 8th inning, trailing Baltimore 8-0. For the Angels, unless a pinch hitter is used, it'll be Merv Rettenman, then Rick Miller, and Jim Anderson.
This radio goes to every game with me, and I haven't missed a play yet because this is no regular battery. This is alkaline, ever-ready alkaline. Of all leading brands, you can't buy a longer-lasting, all-purpose power cell than 9-volt ever-ready alkaline for the typical radio. So when you want long-lasting energy for these radios, get 9-volt ever-ready alkaline. Call ever-ready alkaline regular. I dare you.
One day each summer, practically every town in America celebrates its heritage in a uniquely American way. The 4th of July parade, but without insurance to protect the people who make everything from uniforms and instruments to flags and franks. The 4th of July might look like any other summer day. Crum & Forster, working with more than 9,000 independent insurance agents and brokers, helping ensure the American way of life.
Start your day with NFL 79, followed by regional coverage of exciting NFL action. Telecasts include the Steelers-Browns battle and the Bronco-Chargers clash, Sunday.
A reminder, 2 weeks from today on Sports World, Harry Coetzee of South Africa and John Tate of the United States for the heavyweight championship. Certainly happy you've joined us at Anaheim Stadium. Sparky Anderson, I'm Dick Enberg. Wes Parker on his way to the clubhouse. And on behalf of Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubek and Monty Moore, who worked the games on NBC all year long, I want to thank you for your support. I guess we're all looking forward to next year. I know you are with the Tigers.
I know that, Dick.
We wish you well. Been very quiet about all that talent. You just ran right into the old mother lode there. All that gold in Detroit. Might be seeing you in these playoffs next year.
Well, Dick, I told Jim Campbell, our general manager, we have to be real quiet because I want to pretend like I'm smart in a couple of years.
The great glove of Belanger now at shortstop as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 strikes to Retman. 1-2, and Scott McGregor not easing off a bit. He's shooting for a shutout. Pulled foul. The Sensei still showing a limp as he moved toward that ball. The Sensei at third, Belanger the shortstop, Dower now at second, and Eddie Murray at first. The outfield of Renicky, Bumbry, and Singleton left to right. 1-2 to Retman. That'll be out of play.
I'd like to remind the fans, Dick, that one thing about managing, anytime you're ahead in the 8th and 9th, you end the ball game with your best defensive club on the field, and that's exactly what Earl's done.
8-0 Baltimore in the bottom of the 8th inning in Anaheim. Strike 3 as McGregor pinpoints the inside corner. Sensei, he's the man of the hour for Baltimore. Yes, they've got 8 runs, but that's misleading. It was 3-0, bases loaded, no one out, and then 1 out when DeSensei made this marvelous backhanded stab, hit the bag with his left foot, got himself out of the dirt, and doubled up Jimmy Anderson to take the Angels out of a potential inning that could have given the California club the lead.
You would have thought he was sliding there, Dick, the way he did that.
Rick Miller takes a strike. He has one of only 4 Angel hits today. Out of play. Yankees' #1 pick in 1972 out of El Segundo High School, El Camino College. Scott McGregor pitching the game of his life. A 4-hit shutout for the championship. 1-2 the count.
I know when I was at Cincinnati, that was a few years back, that we wanted to get this young man. When he was pitching in the minor leagues, we thought maybe we could trick him out of it, but they weren't going to fall for the trick.
Only 25. 13-6 on the year. 5 outs to go. Base hit. Miller gives this crowd a chance to exercise its lungs once more. Darren Johnson, his coach at first, undoubtedly telling him, hey, your run really doesn't mean anything. Don't take any chances. Jimmy Anderson will hit for himself.
Well, it goes right back to the one thing we were talking about, Dick. Jimmy just doesn't have any bench at all.
Anderson has hit into 2 double plays today, but one, when it left his bat, appeared to be on its way into the left field corner for at least a 2-run double, and that was the DeSensei defensive gem. Outside, 1-1. The Oriole bullpen is quiet. Miller at first, 1 out. Pop up in the shallow center. Bumbry fighting that sun. 2 away. Brings up Rod Carew. 7-hit series for the 7-time American League batting champion. The American League Rookie of the Year back in 1967. He's been good ever since he arrived. Ball 1. You put Carew in his proper position as a hitter when you realize that only Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner won more batting titles than Rod Carew. Ball 2.
I haven't got to see that much of him. We played him 7 times, and to me, though, just the short time I've seen him, there's no question he's probably the pure hitter in baseball. He can do so many things with that bat.
There's a strike, 2-1. Undoubtedly, Carew up there said, hey, you're going to have to throw me a strike before I swing.
Well, he knows how to play. They're down 8-0. He knows that it's tough right now, but he's not going to swing that bat till he had a strike on him.
2 out. Miller at first in the 8th. 8-0 Baltimore. Sharp ground ball, but Garcia has it. The force, or check that, Belanger with a force at second to Dower. And now the Orioles are 3 outs away. We go to the 9th inning. Baltimore 8, the Angels 0.
These are very important lines. They determine how sharp your color TV picture will be. They're called lines of resolution. And the more lines, the sharper the picture. Magnavox has 25% more lines than ever before possible. That's why Magnavox has a sharper color picture than ever before possible. A 25% sharper color picture. From Magnavox, we make staying home fun.
Chrysler announces the truck and van rebate countdown. Get a Plymouth Trail Duster, Dodge van, Ram Charger, or a full-size pickup and get a $400 check to go with it. October 18th is the last day and the countdown is on. Chrysler has given dealers the biggest cash incentives in Chrysler's history. Big discounts they can pass on to you. But hurry, the countdown is on. Get a great deal and a $400 check. October 18th, the very last day.
Start your day with NFL 79, followed by regional coverage of exciting NFL action. Telecasts include the Steelers-Browns battle and the Bronco-Chargers clash, Sunday.
Before we go to the 9th inning, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Barlow comes in to pitch for the Angels in the 9th inning. Jim Fregosi giving the angular right-hander from Syracuse University a chance to get in some American League playoff experience. 8-0. The Orioles lead it. And they're ready with the champagne down in that first base clubhouse. Barlow will face Singleton, Murray, and Renicky.
Right fielder.
The Orioles as relaxed as we've seen them this 4-game series. 8-run cushion. Singleton, a big day. 3 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Knocked in a couple of runs. So he has 6 hits in 14 at-bats for the series. Interesting to see the reaction, Sparky Anderson, of the fans in the 9th inning. Obviously, as much as they've been optimistic throughout, they also have realistic veins too, and to see how they're going to treat the final outs of this game. And I have a feeling they've got one last volley of appreciation for their team and a respect to this Oriole club, and every fan here, American League fan, wishes the Orioles well in the World Series.
No question about that, Dick, and I think they're going to give the Angels, like you say, that last farewell for them.
1-1 pitch on the corner. Earl Weaver, he may even allow himself the luxury of letting his mind wander ahead to Tuesday night. Baltimore will host Game 1 of the World Series. Weaver with team trainer Ralph Salvon down in that dugout. Whoops. Just missed. 2-2.
I think that's a little question there of a man being just a little too eager to throw a breaking ball, because it was what it was going to be. It was supposed to be a breaking ball, but it never ever broke.
Look at Singleton's reaction. What in the world? 2-2. Foul back.
Earl's probably sitting there right now, Dick, getting himself prepared for how he's going to answer all these questions when he gets inside.
He can be a little rough on reporters. He had about 20 of them around him last night, and they were asking him about Frank Robinson and Robinson managing, possibly getting another opportunity, and what makes a good manager. And he said, "Now that's not a good question. That's a dumb question." One out. And I don't know, I think Earl likes to put the writers on and radio television people on a little bit too. He said, "Hey, you know, like you said, managing is easy. You don't have to be a genius to manage." He said, I don't know. I don't manage against another manager or his team. I just manage my own players. The other guy makes his move, then I counter with my move." I think he was oversimplifying. Obviously, you have to think ahead a little bit, as he did in keeping Kelly in the game today. Soft liner to Connie Lansford, and Eddie Murray is out. 2 away. Gary Renicky. 1 for 3, an RBI single. Steps to the plate.
Baltimore can't wait to get out on the field again and play that old 1-2-3. They want 3 outs and go home. They want to get out. Renicky, I'm sure, don't really care what he does here. They want to get back on that field.
We'll go right to the Baltimore clubhouse at game's end. 8-0. Ground ball to Gritch. And the Orioles are out in the 9th inning. 8-0. Let's go down and chat with Wes Parker for a moment.
Dick, so far there's just a kind of quiet expectation down here in the clubhouse. A few players have filed in, gone back out again. You have the feeling that everything is going to bust loose any moment now, and of course it will in just a few moments. If Baltimore wins this ball game, we're going to have players running in here, shouting, and really enjoying themselves, because you don't get the opportunity to play in the World Series too often. There's a few press people in here now, but no players. They're waiting. Their moment may come very soon.
The outs away is the story. Angels coming up in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 8-0. Tomorrow, NBC presents those outstanding football matches. The Steelers and the Browns, a rematch of their long rivalry. 4-1. Both teams tied with Houston for the lead, AFC Central. The Jets, now 2-3, are at Baltimore, and the Colts hungry for a win. San Diego's Chargers losing only 1. Game we saw up in New England, and they were right down on the 5-yard line at game's end of that one when the interception was made by Nelson. And Denver on the rebound after a tough loss at Oakland. The high-scoring Seahawks of Seattle and the 49ers of San Francisco also matched up tomorrow. That'll be a 1:30 game on the West Coast, 4:30 in the East. So join us, Brian Gumble, Mike Adamley with NFL 79 to keep you abreast of all the other stories in football, all the scores and highlights tomorrow on NBC. Here it is, a final yes we can, and thank you to the Angels. Carney Lansford up. You knew they'd do this.
You know it, Dick, but it's sure great for them to do it, because it just shows them that they appreciate what the Cowboy, what Buzzy Babesi, what Jimmy Pagosian, what all the players have done for them after 19 years.
And they've had a taste of their first championship, the fans here in Anaheim, and you know they're going to be back. These folks are going to be back.
They'll be back, and Jim Pagosian can really be proud of himself for the job he's done in his ball club with all the injuries.
1-1 pitch. Fouled out of play. Scott McGregor, nevertheless, he has a design on a shutout. Lansford is 0 for 3 today. Ford and Baylor to follow. Down low, 2-2. They're on their feet. Very few still seated.
this man's amazing. You talk about Brooks Robinson. I've seen what he did. There's no more than you can do than this man's done today.
And he got up without any foot movement at all and made a strong throw.
I tell you, this man slides across that dirt, comes right up, as you said, and don't delay his throw right over there.
Any other Angel hitter from the right side is down on that play. Lansford's their best runner and just didn't leg it out. Doug DeCinces with a couple of outstanding plays at third to be remembered.
He hurt his left side a little bit, too. He's holding it right now. He hurt that side a little when he got up.
Danny Ford 0 for 3 today. Fans would like to see just one run. You get that feeling of send us home with a run. And McGregor looking for that ground ball. He has 3 double plays behind him today.
Well, I hope DeCinces didn't hurt his back because they just couldn't afford to lose him.
Yeah, he's walking around like a man that's hurting. You walk, maybe the pain will go away. One strike to count. Out in front of that changeup. 0-2.
The one thing, Dick, I've really seen in the American League this year, you have Buddy Bell, you have Greg Nettles, you have DeCinces, your Connie Lansford, George Brett. It's hard to believe a league has that many good third basemen.
There's a line drive, and back to first goes Lansford. Oh, look at DeCinces, though.
He's hurt that side, Dick.
And Mark Belanger coming over to talk with DeCinces. That Earl Weaver, he didn't miss anything. He knows he's hurting. He said to Doug, hey, let's put someone in for you. And I'm sure DeCinces saying, hey, I want to finish it here. These are home crowd. My parents are here watching. I don't want to come out. Don Baylor fouls it back. Watch out. Right back toward us.
Dick, he wants to be on that field when the final out's made, and he wants to go in with the troops as one of the big warriors that won it.
1 out. 9th inning. The Orioles with a big 8-0 lead on their way to the Fall Classic. Fouled again. That went over our heads into the third deck. Earl Weaver, a lonely bird in the dugout. Kind of like a man who's just been dealt his first hand and looks out there and says, ooh, 3 aces. 3 of them. Foul by Baylor. 37-year-old Jim Fregosi. Great baseball season for the young skipper. Dave LaRoche, who was in relief earlier, now with a red T-shirt on in the dugout, has the jersey on. Outside, 1-2 to Baylor. These fans just aching for an excuse to break loose and give the Angels a final cheer. Lansford at first. Hit to center, Bumbry there. He squeezes it for the second out.
He said, this one's not getting away from me.
No, sir. McGregor 1 out away from giving Earl Weaver another pennant.
The Baltimore players are kind of working their way up to the front there, Dick. They're getting ready to make the charge.
Brian Downing, 1 for 3 today. The last man in the way of the Orioles celebration. And McGregor's thrown plenty of those. A 5-hitter for Scott McGregor working on a shutout. Top scoring team in baseball. Strike 2. And now it's match point. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 9th inning, 8-0 Baltimore. It just wouldn't be.
He's warming up, Dick, for Pittsburgh.
All over. Scott McGregor pitching staff as he flanks the top scoring team in the major leagues, the California Angels, 8-0, and here come the Orioles into their clubhouse. Billy Smith, clubhouse man, getting some of the hats. Terry Crowley had a big pinch hit single. There's Mike Flanagan, Kiko Garcia, big Tim Stoddard, Danny Ford. You know, it's a tough moment. You don't want to go back into the clubhouse. You really don't want to go. And the season is over. A season that began way back in March for one team ends. But now that precious opportunity to play in a World Series is in the hands of the Orioles. Let's go to Wes Parker and skipper Earl Weaver.
Thank you very much, Earl. I've got Earl Weaver in a mad clubhouse as usual. And Earl, your first been in since 1971. How does it feel?
Oh, very good, very good. What a job they did all year long. They just didn't quit. They made believers out of everybody.
Did you have any idea in spring training that this club was going to be as good as it's turned out to be?
Well, 102 and then 3 out of 4 in the playoffs. That's what we were working for. That's what we put it together for, and they did the rest.
Earl, it's kind of ironic. You're going to be going to the World Series playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, who you lost to in 1971. Any ideas about the rematch? What do you think about the rematch?
We're going to talk to Jim Russo and Worrell. They've been with him, and I hope that we can win it in 7 this time. That was a great series.
One of the best ball clubs you've ever coached?
It's got to go up there, the number of victories and the stats. They broke the home run record, and we led the American League in pitching, and I don't know what else they could accomplish other than what they've accomplished up to this point.
We saw you pacing back and forth throughout this series. Earl, is that just superstition, or were you really in agony?
No, I'm a nervous fella. I get nervous opening day, and I won't quit now till the World Series over. Day in and day out. You got to do that in April, May, June, anytime.
How many cigarettes do you think you smoked during the games in 4 games?
Well, believe it or not, it wouldn't be that many, but enough. Okay. Enough that I shouldn't be doing it. I know that.
Earl, best of luck to you in the World Series. Thanks. All right, Earl Weaver, obviously very happy, very excited. Baltimore, having won the championship, they're going to the World Series. They had such an outstanding year. The relief, knowing that they did not blow it in the playoffs with their fine record, they are going on into the World Series. We'll see if we can get some other players. Al Bunbury. Al. How you doing, Al?
I tell you, today I feel great. I wasn't feeling very good last night, but today I feel great.
Al, those things can happen, and you bounce back, and that's what you have to do in this game. You can't let one thing get you down.
Yeah, well, that's true. I'm sort of hard on myself, and I think I took a little hard last night, but the guy said, don't worry about it. You will win today, and it came out that way, so I feel great now.
Now, you played in the 1971 World Series, is that right, or did you?
No, that was before me. This is my first World Series.
Okay, you missed that one. Now you have a chance to go with the Pirates. How do you feel about that, Al?
Well, I tell you, when you get to the World Series, you don't worry about any team. It just feels great. And right now, I feel wonderful.
Let's see who else we have. We are going to go back to Dick Enberg. I'm sprayed. We're going to get some more players up here. We'll talk to Scotty McGregor in just a minute. Back to Dick Enberg for now.
All right, we'll let Wes Parker towel off. Meanwhile, here at Anaheim Stadium, half the crowd remains. They're still standing and chanting. Almost as if they don't want to go home. They don't want to acknowledge that this, the best season in California Angel history, and their 19 years is over. They chant. See them hugging each other and saying, hey, we helped them best we could. And certainly that was true. But the Baltimore Orioles are best in the American League. They win 3 games to 1 and a fancy shutout today by Scott McGregor, 8-0 on a 6-hitter.
Promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United's building the largest airline in the world around you. Fly the friendly skies.
Game 4 of the American League Championship Series was brought to you by Chrysler Corporation. See the mileage makers at your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealers. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. By Atra, for closeness with comfort, it's Gillette's best shave. And by Prestone Antifreeze, the antifreeze more people trust than all other brands combined. A reminder, we're going to be back with more of the clubhouse scenario of the Baltimore Orioles, the champions of the American League, right after these messages from your local station.
Lobo turns strippers into cheerleaders.
The Panhandle Pussycats.
And kicks off some wacky action. The Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo, Tuesday.
Saturday night, Dead. 1 a.m. Saturday night on Channel 4. Get the Bad Guys Week starts Monday morning at 9 when William Devane and Martin Sheen tackle the Cuban Missile Crisis in the Missiles of October.
Admiral, I don't give a damn what John Paul Jones would have done. I want to know what you are going to do.
One of our U-2s was just shot down by a Soviet surface-to-air missile over Cuba.
I'm not prepared to wait for my answer until hell freezes over it.
Monday morning at 9 on WDIV.
In Paris, most people take the train to work. In London, the buses are clean, and there's no graffiti on the Munich trolleys. I'm Mort Krim. I took a News 4 camera crew across the Atlantic to find out how Europe handles the transportation crunch, the energy crisis, and what Detroit could do to beat both. Join me all next week at 6 p.m. for Mass Transit, a better idea.
See Mass Transit, a better idea. 6 p.m. all next week on News 4 Detroit.
Go for Good Times weekday afternoons at 4 on WDIV Channel 4 in Detroit.
Just this wish, the Angels have come out of the clubhouse to say thank you to their beloved fans. Listen.
Entirely different celebration going on inside the clubhouse here. As you can see, do it, Doug, you do it, baby. Doug DeSensei's my guest, and Doug, you made one super play. I think it turned this game around, perhaps the series. You were playing close to the line. Why?
Well, in that situation, you don't want to give Jimmy Anderson an extra base hit. His best thing right then is if he gets a base hit, he's going to, you're going to get one run. But if he gets a ball down the line and gets by me, there's two and sets up for more runs. And at the time to score, I wasn't going to give him that. I was going to give him a base hit down the line. But let me tell you, he hit the ball right over the bat. He hit it on the button. I was just lucky to get to that ball.
All right, now how's your leg? We saw you pull up. Did you injure yourself?
Yeah, when I came around first after hitting the ball going to second, the dirt gave way and I pulled something right in the back of my knee, and I wasn't going to come out of the game for anything today, though. No, there was no way.
All right, are you healthy enough to play in the World Series?
Now, this is what it's all about, isn't it? Let me tell you, we're going to go to the World. We're going now, and nothing's going to keep me from playing that either. It's been a year that I've been playing like this, and nothing's going to stop now.
First playoff, first series, undoubtedly the greatest thrill of your life, right?
Oh, there's no doubt, no doubt. I mean, this team's just been fantastic all year, and the Angels just last night they came back and beat us and showed that what they're made of. They didn't win the West by not being a great comeback team and a competitive team, but it also showed today that we didn't let that game disturb us. We had the confidence, we knew what we had to do, and we went out and did it today.
Go see if you can get some of that stuff in your mouth, okay?
Oh, okay, all right.
Pat Kelly. Pat, what a series, what a season it's been for you. A great thrill to hit that home run.
Thank you, Wes. I tell you, it's just a great ball club.
First of all, I'd just like to say, as a Christian and a child of God, I give praise to the Almighty because he was with us from the first day to the very end, and I just thank him because he's worthy to be praised.
35 years old. How many years in professional baseball, Pat?
I go back to 63, so I'm in my about 14th or 15th year.
And this is your first playoff or a World Series or any kind of a championship?
That's right. I was close once, but we're there now, and I just thank God, really.
What a feeling, huh?
It's unbelievable. This is a great club, best club I've ever played for, and I tell you, they're just super, and they're worthy of to be where we're at right now.
Okay, Pat, nothing like winning. Congratulations on a super season. Good luck to you in the World Series.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you.
All right, let's talk to Scott McGregor.
You, Scotty.
Scotty, the winning pitcher in today's game, the number 4 starter for the Orioles, if you can believe it. I bet you can't believe that yourself, Scott.
I'm just glad to be here. We got a lot of good pitching on the ball club, and I think you can put any one of our guys out there, and they're going to do a good job. Dennis did a good job last night. I just got 8 runs today.
You tried to keep the ball down most of the game. You got 3 excellent double plays, didn't you?
Oh, those are the pitcher's best friend. You can put a couple of those together, especially one with the bases loaded with one out. That's that really helps. That's the way I pitch. I got to keep the ball down, and they got the ground balls.
Scott, it was such a big game, and the Angels looked like they might be establishing some momentum yesterday with that big win, the crowd behind them. Did you have any trouble sleeping last night and thinking about this start today?
Oh, definitely. I slept in about 2,000 positions last night. It's tough, but I knew that there'd be plenty of adrenaline flowing today to keep me going. I'll crash on the plane back home.
Did it seem kind of strange to you after growing up in Los Angeles and El Segundo, just about 30-40 miles from here, to be pitching in really your home park and having so many people rooting against you?
Well, I know there's about 30 people up there that were rooting for me, and I can feel it. I'm so glad to be able to do it here. It's just a dream come true to be able to pitch in your hometown and to clinch it to go to the World Series.
Okay, the Pittsburgh Pirates are waiting for you, but for now, just enjoy it. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Okay, Wes, thank you.
All right, the Orioles, obviously a very happy bunch of ball players. Dick, let's go back up to you.
All right, Wes, great job. And with us up in our NBC booth, the chairman of the board, Gene Autry. I know that you have a final reaction to your best season as the owner of this team that's been your family.
Well, Dick, I would say one thing, that we were beaten by a great team and a fine manager, fine management, and we have no comments to make for that team. They were great. They just played better than we did, and the ovation, though, that our players got, I just wish that when I was a performer on the stage or in the rodeo arena, I would have gotten a reception like these players did.
Well, I think part of that applause, sir, comes from the fact that the people are not only thanking the ball players, the ball club, but they're thanking you for bringing this community a championship team.
Well, I didn't do as well as I would like to. Naturally, Sparky over there knows that, but there's times that things go against you and you don't win, and I know that, and I'm just happy that we brought them along as far as we did, considering the fact that we had so many injuries on our ball club. I don't think that we played half the season with all of them healthy that could play.
Well, thank you for taking some time, sir, being with us, and I know that the Angels will be a factor again next year. Wes Parker, there are a lot of things to remember about this series. The crowd at both Baltimore and at Anaheim, certainly a part of the story, and I'll never forget John Lowenstein galloping around the bases with his pinch home run, and nor the feeling that the Angel fans had when their team came back as they had wished last night. But it's Baltimore into the series against Pittsburgh.
Well, Dick, it is, and the Cowboy can be so proud of Jim Fregosi and the job he did, and the job he did for putting this club together. It's just a great all-around job.
Thank you, Sparky. And Wes Parker, Dick Enberg, the chairman of the board, Gene Autry, thank you for being with us. The final score, the Orioles 8 and the Angels 0. Baltimore to the World Series. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer. The coordinating producer of baseball's League Championship Series, Michael Weissman. Today's game produced by Michael Weissman and directed by Harry Coyle. Technical director, Dick Roker. Associate producer, Bill Peters. Associate director, Richard Klein. Tomorrow, the NFL moves into Week 6 of the exciting 1979 season. NFL 79 starts today with reports from around the league and updates from college and NFL football. Then it's great National Football League action. Check the listings for the game and the time in your local area. It's all right here on NBC, the network of the 1980 Olympics.
It's American Graffiti, the hit comedy about growing up in the 60s, starring Ron Howard, Cindy Williams, Richard Dreyfuss, and Suzanne Summers. Tuesday.